hop in dramatically, don't worry.
It's all good because they all heard that, so it's perfect. Hello, family, friends, fans, and fellow adventurers. Welcome back to the Practical Heroes Network with our flagship campaign, our second flagship campaign, Sands of Syldaris, set in the mostly entirely homebrew world because I haven't had the time to go through and erase the non-homebrew yet. Just mostly the OGL infringing stuff. We still see you. Hello, Wizards of the Coast agents in the chat. As
Are
if.
we gonna... Dog alert. Okay, bye, dog.
We don't
But
make
yes.
$750,000 a year. We're fine.
Yeah, they're not going to
And
send the
we
Pinkertons
never
around to us.
will. That might
God.
happen, though.
Pinkertons.
No, it won't happen.
I hope it does.
That would be... Who specifically? I hope Mitch gets the Pinkertons on him.
I mean, it would
That
be
be funny.
publicity.
I need to put my redhead hat on for this.
Fuck.
But yes, last time you made your way to a magic shop to purchase some equipment after heading to an armorer's workshop to trade in your spiritual wood and purchase new armor. You bought quite a few supplies from the magic shop. I believe there was a bag of holding involved, if I remember correctly, which I might not because my memory sucks. This is why DMs should have notebooks. You, DM who doesn't take notes for your campaign, take notes for your campaign. Or rely on the players to do it. But
Now
yes,
you're fucked.
you
Except
all...
for Maywood takes great notes, so...
Yes. Totally not what I've used to write the recap for the past, 5 sessions. You got your supplies from the magic shop. Linger is, of course, very happy with her new wand bandolier, selection of wands, and new magical supplies. You took a quest from the owner of the magic shop. In exchange for a little bit of a discount and potentially some money involved in returning some aero crystals that were due to be delivered to the shop and were subject to an ambush and raid by bandits. You tracked the bandits out of town to the site of the caravan crash and ambush, and you found them not too far away, discussing how this was a regular scheme of theirs, getting one of the bandit members involved in escorting the caravan, and then almost immediately betraying and looting the caravan.
I mean, that's a pretty good scheme, honestly.
It is.
It was.
They were discussing that it was potentially a bit stupid that they keep using the same bandit every time, and maybe people will catch on eventually.
They did.
But before they could really get into the intricacies of that, Warden nearly split him in half.
Wow, okay.
With an excellent one-liner before his opening swing.
What did you say?
Wow, Steph,
It
don't
was
you watch the
something-
VODs?
She doesn't even watch her own show. No. Oh, man. It was...
Something about a 44 Magnum, something about feeling lucky.
Are you feeling lucky? Punk. Yeah.
Hey,
I think it had something to do with one of them wanted to be like the lone survivor or something. I don't know.
I'll watch it later. I'll watch
Okay.
the VOD, and if you haven't, you should too.
They can't because I haven't had
if
time
you
to upload
haven't-
them properly. They're private, so we have access to them, but I haven't had time to put the last, 2 months of VODs public.
And if you haven't, you should wait for Mitch to put them live so then
Someone
you can.
please help me. But yes, you...
Is that to one of us or just to somebody in the chat?
to the void. Maybe Cthulhu will help me. If you shout loud enough into the void, something will help. And after a reasonably quick fight, during which one of the bandits thought it would be a great idea to attack and wound Rip, and was immediately proved very wrong at how good an idea he thought that was.
Good bastard.
Rip was saved, the bandit was melted, and the aero crystals were retrieved. And you began on your way back to Jura. So, with that, what would you guys like to do? As you're currently just kind of heading back into town.
I wander up to everybody.
Harmonica in hand.
I
found him.
Oh my god.
He lent me his harmonica for. I mean, he's got a lot of them, but now I have one. So, hi guys, how are you doing?
Put it in your inventory right now. He
I'm
said
going
it.
to.
He said it, it's canon.
Do it.
What is the thing that we use for this game?
Shard.
Shard.
I was like, script? So close.
She didn't even have shard open,
I
guys. Come
didn't
on.
have shard open. I'm so
Problem player.
Honestly.
Okay. Inventory.
We are one step closer to starting this band. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, as soon as Warden gets his oboe.
Oh.
Okay.
What a perfect instrument for Warden to play.
It's not a melee weapon. Harmonica, melee weapon. Absolutely not.
2d12 psychic damage.
I haven't had any medication today. So yeah, he was so cool. I just like, I don't know. I feel like you guys were talking to somebody, and then I just heard this harmonica, and I just felt the need for bars.
Speed.
No, for bars. I also wanted to see if he had any bath bomb ingredients, but he didn't.
Sort of a pied harmonica player. But instead of rats, it's
Mira.
muras.
Yes, he's a pied player. Definitely. He absolutely.
All right. Well, we did some work for this magic shop owner, who I will let you know so you don't freak out. Looks like a fox.
What?
I know.
What?
No.
How?
Mm-hmm.
On purpose?
I didn't get a look at the tail, to be fair. Was it a bushy tail?
Yes, there is a bushy tail.
I
There's a
gotta
bushy
meet
tail.
this guy or lady or they them. I don't care. I gotta meet the fox.
All right. Well, let's go. We got to give them these crystals. They're going to give us gold. We're going to be rich. And if I have anything to say about it, famous.
That's a famous sister. We don't have to be famous.
We have to be famous.
Well, now that you said that we have to,
Yeah.
I guess it's mandatory.
It'll
So
open up a lot of doors, I swear. Actually, you know what? That's actually a good time for me to mention. We've had a few opportunities here and there where having a name for our ragtag band would be helpful. So I've taken the liberty to come up with 100 different ones.
Oh my god. That's not where I thought that was going.
I've typed them all up here.
amazing.
Let's just hear them all in order.
All right.
I'll read them while we walk. As
Hopefully
Why
this
must
isn't
we?
too-
There's a nice campfire. The stars are out. It's a beautiful night.
I'll play the harmonica.
There is blood and viscera all over this area.
Warden just splattered with blood and brains.
Oh my
so
god, there
he-
actually are 100. Holy crap! I
shit.
love this.
I love
Maywood
the
above
last
and beyond
one.
the college.
Take
So he
inspiration.
He hands everyone a individualized list. So yeah, some of these perhaps a little more accurate to what we've been doing. Some of them just
Earth, wind, and fire.
No, my favorite one is the Doobie Dark Brother.
Arctic monks. That's great.
Oh my god, Blink Dog 182. All right.
Maywood-
Hold on, I'm gonna start reading.
Maywood, take inspiration.
Yeah.
Can we get a slow clap going for this?
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read all of these in my mirror.
feel
Right.
free to we can peruse, discuss. Nothing set in stone yet, but I thought it was a good starting point.
I think this is amazing, Chester. So yes. All right. Sand Seekers, Grain Gatherers, Beachcombers, the Sand Syndicate. I kind of like that one. It sounds a little emo, which we're not, but I think that's funnier. The Sand Castle, Massive Grains, Aeroth, Wind, and Fire. That's pretty good.
Oh, are you okay, Mira?
I'm good. It's
Oh,
just
okay,
this
good.
list is so extensive, and I'm trying to sound out all of the words.
Oh, I thought that said sand shakers for a second.
No, the Sand Sharks, but the Sand Shakers would be good too.
Sand shaker central.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. We're passing classified documents of Aeroth back and forth. Oh, jeez Louise. The Pillars of Aeroth, the Quicksands, SETI Alpha 5, Lightning Glass, Aeroth Angels. Oh, that's cute. The Sands of the Beach Folk, Pearl Jelly, Goof Fighters,
This is where it
Fire-
starts descending into fantasy
Bandits.
band.
Firearms and you're rude. The Grateful Undead. There's like 20, 80 more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very long list. Perhaps we don't read them all out loud.
Yes, but I felt like the
Oreo
19
haste wagon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dolly Portland.
That has an asterisk beside it for a very important reason that I stole that from somebody. I forget who. Somebody I met once. Specifically,
Blink Dog
Lindsay's
182.
character.
Abinwood Mac.
Abba Cadabra.
This is fantastic. Dancing Light
Actually-
Orchestra is incredible.
I vote Abba Cadabra because there's 2 boys and 2 girls, and we.
Displace your Beastie Boys.
I appreciate you including Dolly Porton. That was very
Yeah,
nice of you.
With an asterisk, of course.
With an asterisk. I appreciate it.
Who did you steal that from?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, amazing. Thank you for
I
Dolly
think
Portland.
Fine Young Halflings is my favorite. Because you
my
have to
God.
know about halflings in Dark Sun that are cannibals.
Yeah.
Brittany
Yeah.
Polearms.
Fat Boy Slime.
This
Evanwood
is
Mac.
Brilliant.
so good.
Evanwood Mac. Come on.
Evanwood Mac's
That's-
pretty good.
That's really good.
Justin
course,
Timber Drake. New
Number
monster,
100,
Timber
I'll
Drake.
just put my vote in for number 100. I feel like that's probably the most.
I also do love Naughty by Nature Domain.
Country
This is
Joe and
really-
Kuatoa.
They might be storm giants.
Ugh.
I
Okay.
do like that a lot.
All right. Well, that's something to discuss at a different time. But I feel like we do need, branding is important. If we want to attain that fame that I speak of, it opens up doors and windows and other various portals.
3 portals down is good.
I think we should definitely consider all of these. Every
Yeah.
single one. At all times.
Well, as a wizard player and as a a connoisseur of good music, I'm gonna say that I'm with Steph on Abba Kedabra.
So good, right?
Okay, how about Dura Dura for Duran Duran? Just took the
That's
eyes off.
really good
that was
too.
good.
All right,
Dura
sorry,
Dura is
sorry.
pretty good.
I gotta stop looking at it myself. Anyways,
I like the ones where you've
Still
tied in
Warlock.
Eroth locations. It makes me very happy.
tried
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Amazing.
Now do something with Bimbleduke or
Yeah.
Boobledoon. Get the fish
And
people
for the next
involved.
100.
Immovable Rod Stewart.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Cool. So, with you guys discussing the list of names, as you head down the streets of the Amethyst Ward of Jura, you head back to the shop that I should have the name of, but I don't have the right notes open right now because I'm a big dum-dum head.
We know.
Wow, thanks, Steph.
You're welcome.
Mura dies.
Not on your life.
Yeah.
Just
I just have
instantaneously.
Fox's shop. Have the name.
No, there was a great pun in the name. I do seem to remember.
I'll be
And
the judge
would-
of that.
The Fox Arcana or something.
Yeah. It wasn't really much of a pun, it was just nodding at the fact that it's run by an Arcanoloth, and Lindsay immediately guessed it because Lindsay sucks and loves ruining all my surprises.
And your supplies is.
Yes, and
And
my
your supplies,
surprises.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Apparently I'm just
Uh,
slowly turning into Gollum with our surprises.
I have a weekly trip to England just to wreck Mitch's house.
Oh my god.
It's really draining my bank account, but it's so
So worth
fulfilling.
it.
It's really worth it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
His mom every time, and she's like, "What are you doing to the dishes?" I'm like, "You like this?" And I rattled them real hard. 'Cause I know she does. She really likes that. And then I
Rattling
break
them.
a few.
Not even like she's not even
Threateningly
destroying them, she's
rattling.
Lindsay's just rattling him.
Direct
Rattle 'em,
eye
Lindsay.
contact.
Hmm. You know, it's a dominance thing.
And then
Absolutely. Most things
And
are.
then and then I lock eyes with her, and I'm like, "Who's his real mom?" And she bows her head and she scuttles away.
Oh my god. And then they call the British authorities and they say, "Ma'am, you have to leave," and they don't arrest her or anything. They
They
just tell her to
say,
stop playing pranks and filming them on YouTube.
Hello, what's holy sin?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
This was high D&D content happening.
Thanks for your
right now.
representation of England. It's very accurate, faithful. We do, in fact, just live out scenes from Oliver Twist.
Damn,
Why, just last week I was up the chimney myself.
Wait, isn't that Mary Poppins?
Both.
Lots of things.
All the same thing, right?
It's
Oh.
set in the chimney sweep times, so there's still chimney sweeps in both.
Sweet
I was
time.
gonna say, don't chimney sweeps still exist?
Probably, but it's not like prime chimney sweeping years now, you know? A lot of
Yeah,
people
I guess
don't
you
really
gotta
have them
They're
anymore.
not the ruling
Man.
class of England right
Yeah.
now. I know.
As they were in Mary Poppins.
Right,
Man, Mary
right.
Poppins made that job look so lit.
Absolutely. Well, if they didn't, no
Yeah.
one would want to do it.
Nope.
Nobody wanted
You got to
to.
sing,
Mary Poppins
you got to
was just-
dance, you got to run around looking all dirty and still look hot somehow.
You have to have the
Mary
most
Poppins
accurate.
was just it was an or was a recruitment campaign for chimney sweeps in
Oh my
London.
god! It
Absolutely.
Was a fucking.
There were posters
And they
everywhere
made-
that said, "Your chimney needs you."
Yeah.
Keep on and sweep the chimney or whatever.
Stay calm and chimney sweep.
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to the shop to like get our money and buy some more spell scrolls.
I guess
Yes,
we
so you
work
head
on
to the
D&D,
Fox's
yes.
Cunning,
I
or the Fox's Arcana, one of the two. Either way,
I think it's the Fox's Arcana.
either way, I've lost my notes.
The
And the
Fox's
Dura
Cunning
note.
was the brothel. I
Yes.
think.
The Dura page has got all kinds of fucked up, so I've lost a whole bunch of notes, which is great fun.
We love that for you.
I know, right? So you head to the Fox's Arcana.
Yeah, we go.
And you're... Sorry, I'm still recovering from the emotional trauma that you were all just inflicting on me.
British man drinks boba, has emotional damage.
Could you tell from just the straw, or are you looking at
Yeah,
Zoom,
I could.
where you can
No,
see
I
a
can
lot
tell-
more
I
of
can
me?
tell. First of all, I am looking at Zoom. Second of all, I just saw the straw initially, so...
Impressive. But yes, you head inside, and your new Arcanoloth friend steps out from behind the counter and... Ah! Welcome back. How can I help?
Oh, hello, my fine foxy friend. We have for you arrow crystals galore.
Excellent. Please, and she kind of gestures over to the counter and kind of scurries back behind it, and you see she pulls out a little... I wanted to say monocular, but that's not the word, but it is now.
Monocle.
No, not a monocle.
It's monocle.
Like the little
Gem.
Binocular.
jeweler's eyepiece thing.
Jeweler's loop.
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yes.
they call it a jeweler's loop, but it's called a jeweler's
Well,
loop.
it's now called a monocular because it's not a binocular, it's a monocular. Also known as a telescope or spyglass, I am now realizing.
Or a jeweler's loop.
Look, guys, I'm gonna level with you, okay? It's like 33 degrees Celsius in England right now, and we don't have anything to let heat out. We just keep the heat in.
Why did you guys
Celsius
decide that
to
that was...
Fahrenheit.
Why did you
And I know you
like,
guys will
make-
be like, oh, that's like 2 Fahrenheit. We get that like all the time. That's nothing. We have
Oh, it's
triple that.
91. That's,
But
Oh,
that's
it's
also-
complaint-worthy.
91?
That's all.
There you go.
Hot here. Okay,
That's been hot here recently, but
it's not even that hot here, and it's
Vindication.
always hot in Atlanta. Why did you guys like jointly like? Why did all of Europe like get together in the European Union? I assume, and just all shake hands and say we're not gonna have indoor heating and cooling. Like, why was that the decision?
Because indoor heating is a lot more useful here where it's cold most of the time, Steph.
Yeah, right. Okay. So why would you not have indoor heating and cooling?
Because indoor heating came first, indoor cooling came much later and was much more expensive. And back then, the global was much colder, okay? The global's much more
Wait.
warm now.
Okay, I think that this is just like the global is much more.
You know, the global is warming, Steph, okay?
Yeah, I know it is.
the whole global.
The
Yeah.
whole one.
So these arrow crystals, though.
Yeah, here are 5
Yeah, stop
charged
bullying me for being
crystals
British and play some D&D.
and
No.
2 uncharged
Focus.
arrow crystals. Excuse me,
Yes.
ma'am, if I could have your full attention on this very important business
She
happening
she
here.
pulls out her little
Commerce.
jeweler's eyepiece. Excellent. And it seems they've retained their charge, and there's no
Well,
damage, cosmetic or otherwise, which is excellent. How many of these were you able to recover?
we've got, according to my bag that I'm looking into, I suppose, I've got 5 charged EO crystals and 2 uncharged crystals.
She kind of like braces her hands against the side of the counter for a second and, okay, this is good, this is very good. Okay.
Are you okay?
I tell you what. How about this? As reward for retrieving Frankly, most of the shipment, I believe. There's only a small handful missing, which can be easily rectified. There were 5, you say? 5 charged?
5 charged.
And 2 uncharged.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep the 2 uncharged and 1 of the charged. I will take the rest and provide you some gold for them. For your troubles.
Curious. How much?
Just be very,
gold
very careful with the charged one.
are we talking here? And also out of character, what do these do again?
So, aerocrystal in and of itself, usually inert aerocrystal, and this is fairly common knowledge, inert aerocrystal can be used for weapons, and it generally can make a much lighter version of any standard weapon. So the idea is when you make, for example, a longsword out of aerocrystal, you can now use your dexterity modifier for the attack and damage. It's not finesse, but it's basically finesse-like. Because otherwise, if you let it be finesse, then suddenly rogues are carrying great swords.
That was the first thing that popped into my mind. All right. And what about a charged one?
The charged aerocrystals are, in many ways, a lot more valuable, depending on the person. They're often used for powering spells. There's generally 2 ways of using a charged aerocrystal in your spell casting. Depending on the value of the aerocrystal, it can be used as a substitute for a spell component of the same or lesser value. Or, aerocrystals are usually charged with specific elemental energy. So, for example, and she picks up the red one and she says, if I were to cast a fireball spell whilst channeling it through the charged aerocrystal, it amplifies the power of the fire. Makes it a lot more powerful and deadly when you're dealing with a fireball, yes.
All right,
Or,
let me
if you have enough, then they're often used in aerocrystals, ether cannons, rather.
Ethan cannons.
Ether cannons,
yeah.
yes. So one of the main arcano-mechanical, one of the major arcano-mechanical inventions of the last few hundred years is the invention of the ether cannon.
Got my cannons right here.
Yes. Boom and blast.
Mitch has some muscles.
Looking good, Mitch.
Oh yeah, Mitch is a drummer.
Yeah. He's got drummer arms.
He's also a gymnot.
Are you?
I dabble.
Double.
The best British phrase. But yes. Oh god, you've got me all flustered now. The ether cannon is one of the major defenses of the last few hundred years. It more specifically came about with the War of the Gods happening and dragons starting to get involved and attacking mortal settlements. And people were like, we need a cannon powerful enough to shoot a dragon out of the sky if needs be. So you end up with this large cannon. In fact, can everyone give me an Arcana check? Let's see how much you all know about ether cannons. Why not?
Okay.
4.
Chester knows so much about ether cannons, but he doesn't want to share it with everyone.
That
This is
tracks.
Ethan. He would know all about ether cannons.
Do I have advantage since I had one at one point?
No,
Okay. That
that was just a small handheld one.
That's totally fair. 15 though.
One.
I did the highest.
Yes.
I rolled the highest?
Linger's distracted, fixing Rip up.
To be fair, Linger wouldn't really know anyway.
that's true.
She said it's just been in the past couple hundred years. So I was
Yeah.
not gonna roll, and then I was like, I'll just maybe she knows about like
That's also true.
magic.
It's-
but yeah,
gets,
she would.
It's also more-
inspiration, though, right?
Yes, because you got a nat 1.
Oh hey.
So,
But yes, it's also more mechanics than magic. It's mechanics fused with magic, so maybe Linger just doesn't roll that way. She's more just magic is magic, okay? This is how you do magic.
Yeah.
Magic is magic.
Why would
I
they
mean,
change
back when-
magic?
Back when she was learning all of this, you didn't need all these things. You could just
Back
do
in my
magic.
day.
Back in my day, okay, magic was spell components and paper.
You didn't need all these fancy contraptions and boxes and spells.
It's literally Linger's iPhone. Linger is some like 80-year-old grandpa who's just been given an iPhone, having only ever used the like Alexander Graham Bell OG.
Wow. Not Alexander Graham Bell.
But yes, Mira.
Hi.
Clearly, since you for once remember stuff, clearly you remember the one that you had previously, and you remember Spanner telling you all about how it worked. And because it was Spanner telling you things, you did actually pay attention and listen.
Yeah, I
But-
had one once, and Spanner told me all about it.
Effectively, the way it all works with that is you have this large aerocrystal lens that's made of charged aerocrystal, and that is rotated inside the barrel of the ether cannon at a very high speed, and when someone presses the trigger to fire it, a striking mechanism with a piece of aerocrystal on it itself strikes against the lens and sends a blast of ether energy, is what they usually refer to it as, through the ether cannon.
I say all of that for sure.
Wow.
Mira's just like, so here's how it works, and everyone's like, bruh.
All right. Well, if you can just give me a moment to speak with my compatriots vis-a-vis the selling of these crystals. So he does the classic bugbear arms around everyone. All right. I personally have no desire for any of these crystals for my personal use. However, do any of you?
I'm okay. I have this really big crystal egg though that I want the lady to look at. So
Hmm.
I would not be opposed to having one that I could use in my spell casting as
Yeah.
Especially given that you can change damage types, can't you?
I can.
So you can change it to match the aero crystal if you wanted to use it in that way, or if you wanted to use it instead of spell component, it can be used in that way. So that's actually really useful for a scribe's wizard.
All right. Easy.
It is.
Easy peasy. Hand it. I was going to say hand it over. I am going to hand it over. Rather.
we can use the uncharged ones.
The
We
charged
get
one.
one charge.
One
Yeah,
charged,
one
two
for Lingo.
uncharged.
I'll take one of the uncharged ones and figure out how to charge it.
All right, what color is it?
That can only end well. You can pick the color. So, if I remember correctly, there were 2 reds, a blue, and I feel like there was a purple and a yellow.
Oh, well, I'm going to go purple.
Fair enough.
How much is it worth?
She kind of looks over it with the jeweler's tools. Why don't you
Why don't you?
linger? Fine, I will. roll me a d10, please.
Do, 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 do. A 10.
Oh,
Good, I
lucky.
assume.
It is worth 500 gold pieces.
Wow.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
Value.
Uh,
500.
Mira takes the uncharged yellow one and is like, thanks, and just pops it into her bag.
Um,
Like rocks.
but yeah, she kind of holds the charged arrow crystal out to linger and just, yes, this looks like it could be used in substitute for any singular spell component up to a potential value of around 500 gold pieces. Or, similarly, as I say, to empower spells with any sort of, for lack of a better term, usually a lot more malevolent energy. They're often used for sort of shadow spells or any spells that have any sort of necrotic energy to them, which I know Linger never really likes touching.
Oh. I'm
Ever.
sure I could find some kind of use for
Necrotic
it.
spiders rain from the sky.
Boy. Skeleton.
Oh my gosh.
Rain of
Well,
ghosts of
hilarious.
spiders past.
That is very cool. I look forward to seeing it in use. Now, for the remainder of these crystals,
Yes, the
you were about
remaining
to
4.
offer us a large sum of gold, I do believe.
Mhm.
I stubbed my toe, sorry.
Yes, quite. Do bear with me one moment. And she kind of very gingerly places them into like a velvet cushioned small lockbox. And
I will bugbear with you a moment, yes.
chuckles and carries them back behind the little curtain behind the counter. And then returns holding a slightly bigger strong box and just kind of puts it down on the counter and slides it towards you. 2,000 gold.
Wow, so much money.
That's a fair amount. I was actually hoping perhaps... 2,000, care the one. Could you perhaps do 2,200 in lieu of us finding more ale crystals in the world and giving you prime rights to them? We are adventurers, you see. Band name incoming.
TBD.
TBD.
Abacadabra.
It's on the list.
Make a persuasion check, Chester.
I hate that Zoom just, when I said abracadabra, it said playing music? No.
man.
Well,
You kind of clipped out anyway.
Oh my god.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that.
Okay. I mean, she is already very friendly to her, and you've proved that you're
21.
capable of doing this. Fair enough. I was going to say, it wasn't going to be a particularly hard sell, but always good to know. So you asked for 2,200 or 2,250?
Yes, the second one.
She pauses for a moment, heads back behind the curtain,
Nice.
comes back, and 2,500. And I will accept your offer to bring any others that you find out in the world to me.
You have yourself a deal, madam.
A pleasure doing business with you.
You as well. He will take some time and divvy out 625 golds, everyone.
Wow. I gotta do math.
I'm just-
Actually, I don't need to.
I used a calculator.
Oh, there is a calculator there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad. I thought there was 5 of you because I am the 5th person on the screen. And I was like, yeah, 2,500 is a great number to divide between 5 people. That's entirely my bad.
625, Ethan.
Yes.
Gold.
Yes.
No, for Warden, it's copper.
After that stuff with Chester, Mira pops out this giant crystal egg that she's been carrying for a while and is like, so I found this. Since you're really good with crystals, you can tell me what it is, because I don't know. It's just a egg-shaped crystal, a crystal egg, if you will.
Mira and the Kingdom of the Crystal Egg.
That's
She
it's that one.
She holds up her hands to take the crystal and have a look at it, if I
I
may.
give it, absolutely. That is why I, take it out.
If I could just say that since I've been near this crystal, I have felt my negative ions just simply vanish. So.
Bear with me one moment while I finish making my note about the fact that you guys have made a deal to deliver aero crystals whenever you find them, just so that I remember things for once. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah, wouldn't it?
She starts looking over the crystal, and you watch as she pulls a rather long wand from her sleeve, kind of waves it around the top of the egg a few times before tapping it, and you watch as her eyes start to glow a kind of light purplish color, which I'm sure Linga would immediately pick up as her detecting any magic that might be involved in this egg. One of the
I guess we could have done that, but why?
one of the easier spells to pick up on someone doing, given how often wizards would be used to seeing other wizards do it.
Yeah.
And she... Well, there doesn't seem to be anything inherently magical about this crystal, per se.
Okay.
It
That's fine.
seems to be essentially no different than most spell focuses, not too dissimilar than, say, a crystal ball, but rather it's in the shape of a dragon's egg than a ball. If you were looking to sell it, I would happily purchase it.
Oh no, I like it. It's a memory of I like it. I was just wondering if it was like, special. But it's special to me, so I guess that kind of doesn't matter.
It looks like it was possibly intended to be special at some point. Whether it served its purpose and is no longer special, or they weren't able to complete what it would be that would make it special, I can't quite be sure, but outside of that, it just seems like a normal spell focus, I'm afraid.
No, that's fine.
Unfortunately, I mean,
be scared.
it's more that you come across a crystal dragon egg that has some sort of magical vibe to it, and you, let's be honest, secretly hope that it might hatch some sort of crystal dragon from it.
That would be so funny, right? Mira just takes it back and just pops it into her bag. I mean,
Imagine that, right? Whoop!
I'm funny. Crystal dragon. Silly. She pops it back into her bag. Well, I guess I'll just use it as a spell focus, because I do those things. Cast and spell.
Hey, Mitch.
Hello.
Second level spell scrolls were 150, right?
Yes,
And third level are 400.
I do believe so.
sweet sauce.
Actually, speaking of magic item prices, I've had my first big issue with you, Shard. Points ominously and
God.
threateningly. The latest update, they've been making the shop system work really awesomely, so you can basically just make a book, list a bunch of items, and then convert that into a shop, so I can then just like send you guys that page of the book as a handout, and you can just shop from a page on Shard without having to spend 2 hours role-playing shopping. What they've done for the magic item prices, however, is they've used the sane magic item prices.
Oh no!
Discerning Merchant's Price Guide. It's the way to go. Because Lindsay showed it to me, and we trust Lindsay. But also it is so much better.
We do.
Well, the sane one, you would have to start giving us so much more gold.
Yes.
Like the discerning is made for a reasonable economy. Sane is made for like you're giving us hundreds of thousands of gold over the course of a few levels.
Yeah.
That's
But it's decent for an indication. But I will still continue to use the Discerning Merchant's Price Guide.
Thank you.
And
I
will
like that it's called that.
Yes,
It's a nifty
I-
name.
will request that they do the same because it's better in every way.
Well, and also just to tote how much better it is, the Discerning Merchant's Guide uses the pricing guide that Wizards of the Coast provides in Xanathar's.
Yes,
So it's actually
up to date.
made for the gaming system we are using.
Yes, third level spell scroll or tattoo, but she doesn't do that in this shop, is 400 gold.
She only does that in her tattoo shop.
Yes.
All right, I'm
That
just
one's
gonna
the
get-
Foxy Needle.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pick up 2 second level spell scrolls. I'll hold off on getting a 3rd level, and I'll just clear them with you later.
Cool. The best way to do spell scroll purchasing, unless someone says this spell scroll is on the shelf.
Lindsay, I have to say, Lindsay is like the best shopping companion in D&D because she doesn't want to waste like time. That's why when it was like, this is a non-special crystal, I was like, thanks, and I just shoved it in my bag. Because we don't need to have like a long ass conversation about why it's not special. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, we're good.
It would be crazy if it was a dragon. Sure would. If I've learned anything from Lindsay, it's don't take too fucking long shopping. Nobody likes that. Unless it's in your home game. That's not what we're doing.
It's alright, in my home game one time someone took like 2 hours to get a fucking haircut, so...
What? You know what? No, later, on the break, tell the story.
So... You leave the Fox's Arcana, I assume?
I just oh, bless you, Ethan. I lean into
Thank
the fox and I'm like, I think that you're very cool and you have an amazing tail. I'm very jealous.
She kind of blushes a little bit, pushes the glasses up the bridge of her nose. Thank you. I like your... And she kind of takes a second to fully take it all in and goes, shirts.
I ship it.
Realizing that she was about to say, like, oh, I like your shirt. And there's like 5 of them.
Yeah. Lindsay's like, one interaction, it's time.
That's what you do, though, right? That's how you play D&D. Is you ship
Yeah.
as many things as possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ship it. You said something nice. I ship it.
That's how it works in
Poor
anime
Booker.
too. Poor
Um,
Booker.
So, what would you guys like to do then?
I think we're off. We're going somewhere else. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know.
we did have the potential to go to the shady part of town. Both get our party on, which was a floated idea a couple times, and also try to get some information, some data, some input into the automaton incursions. There, perhaps.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was a thing we were gonna deal with, wasn't it?
That is why we are in this part of the world. Shall I lead us there?
Please do.
Please.
Walk this way. And then he kind of does a little strut.
Nice.
Mira follows in the exact same fashion.
Okay. You make your respective ways over to the Golden Mill, the shadier part of town. As you're kind of walking through, there's just the noticeable change now. There's just kind of people sat out in the street and they watch you as you're walking through. Even just the air is different in the Golden Mill. Strangely though, Harmonica Man, you get the vibe he's possibly still around somewhere. There's just one in every district of every city.
I did say he had multiple harmonicas.
It's a syndicate.
Harmonicas.
Oh my god, he is the cabbage guy.
But yes, so you make your way to the Golden Mill slash the Obsidian Gate. They're kind of the same thing. Aiming for anywhere in particular?
I mean, he's doing it in general, but in particular in this area, looking for a thieves' camp, like signage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were given a name of like the Shady Bar.
Yes.
Tankard and Crow.
Yes.
So,
Why do I have golden milk written down? Did we? do
Because this
anything
area of
golden?
town is the Golden Mill.
Oh, the golden mill.
So you probably heard Golden Milk the first time and went, I'm writing that down. Because that'll be funny
That makes
later.
sense. That makes sense.
And then,
Okay.
almost as if you have ADHD, you probably immediately forgot you did that.
Oh, you know me so well. That's sweet.
That doesn't sound like you at all, Lindsay.
Doesn't sound like half this crew.
Half?
Minimum. Excellent. Well, as you enter the Golden Mill, we're going to go and take a little break. We're going to have a couple of breaks today just so I can let some fresh air circulate through this room and cool it down a bit. And also so that people can pee, because that's nice.
Yeah.
We like that.
You're like peeing.
We will see everyone back here then in 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right.
minutes.
Excellent. In that case, it's break screen. Goodbye.
Awesome.
Hello. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a good pee. We're dying a slow heat death here in England. But we've let some fresh air into my room, so we've now got some new air circulating, which helped a little bit. My computer is dying in the background, so the stream is suffering a little bit, and I apologize. The computer fan is currently louder than my actual fan, which isn't great. I need to get my internals external and put them into a new PC case and add some actual fans and cooling.
But that's a shopping episode for another day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And might make a good stream. Me doing computer stuff makes note. But yes, you've made your way to the Golden Mill. And I do believe, because my Jura page did not... something has happened to this Jura page and it's got so fucked up, so I think I've quite possibly lost the name of that inn that you were told
Tankard
about.
and Crow.
Tankard and Crow, thank you very much. There's very much an animal theme that goes alongside the gem theme of the rest of the city. But it's fun to have themes. Bear with me one moment. But yes, as you are...
themes.
Yeah. As you're making your way through, walking fast, as you're making your way through the Golden Mill, you do pass, there is sort of a small area of the street where you see people kind of gathering for a little bit, like people come, stop, look, talk amongst themselves, leave, and as you kind of approach towards where it is, because it is in the same direction as you're going, there is a small sign on the street next to what seems to be a reasonably sized pothole in the middle of the street, and the sign reads, "The Goblin Mine." And you can just see people kind of like coming up to the pothole, looking, talking amongst themselves, leaving, and others just walking past nonchalantly.
I think there might be a mime in there, which I'm not a fan of.
Very creepy.
I'm sorry, a mime? And not
Mine.
a
Goblin.
With an N.
Oh,
But a goblin mime would also
Yeah.
be terrifying, and I'm going to make a note of that.
Legit, in my backstory, I have that Chester doesn't like mimes because he likes to talk so much. So just trust them.
Yeah, no, it's mine as in going down coal mines.
Yeah. Chester's gonna peek in and give a little hello to the mine.
It
What are you
literally,
mining
as
down
you
there?
peek in, it is just a pothole in the street. It doesn't lead down to anywhere. You can just see, like, kind of few inches deep pothole.
What is this, a mine for ants?
Oh my god.
There's a couple of chuckles nearby from the other people that are kind of gathered around looking at the goblin mine.
It's a city bureaucracy at work, I see.
And
Are we onwards?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
okay. You continue onwards to the Tankard and Crow. Crow and Tankard both work. And it is... Excuse me. Oh, God, I don't know what's going on. It's the heat. It's getting to me. I'm British, I complain. That's what I do.
Whinge, they call it, I believe.
Excuse me, whinging is very different. There's levels of complaining, okay?
Whinging. You're kvetching.
There's whinging, there's whining, and then there's complaining. And yes, I am kvetching. Because right now I am schwitzing, I am verklempt, and there is nothing I can do about it.
It's just everywhere.
It's unbearable.
It's unbearable.
The chutzpah of this heat.
Could you believe it? I couldn't. Anyway, next D&D game, I guess. Just play old Jewish ladies.
Here we go. Yes, it's so the inn that you're looking for. It's kind of like a small wooden building, with fairly poorly thatched roof. You kind of head inside. It's like the saloon double doors. They rattle behind you as you head in. A couple of people kind of stop what they're doing and look over in your direction. But it's not like Wild West where the whole saloon stops and looks. It's just like probably about half the patrons stop what they're doing and look, and then just go back to whatever they're doing.
Is there a guy named Arthur there? Maybe Arthur.
Partner.
Unfortunately not. But you can see, because it's kind of all this like effectively one-story building, you can see basically this kind of main area, and where it branches off to a few of the rooms for the accommodation are just like big long rooms with straw mats laid out on the ground. There's a few people sleeping on the mats. Casting a discerning eye around, Chester probably is easily able to pick out that most of the, or not most, but a lot of the tables are being used for gambling, or just other sorts of dice games, card games, passing the time, that sort of thing. And you can see behind the bar, just currently kind of cleaning the surface of the bar, is a kind of thin, short male halfling. I mean, short for a halfling, obviously.
He's like a quarterling.
Not quite a quarterling, maybe like a thirdling.
Okay.
No, he's no, the DM's English, so it would be a quidling.
Wow.
Ragging on Mitch because he's English. Classic.
He's actually a farthingling.
I don't know what that is.
Old times money.
Stop making up words.
I swear to God, if you start measuring things and like,
It was like a
measuring things in
fraction of a
stone-
penny.
God, the fucking when
Yeah,
I love it when British people are like, I lost 3 stone, and I'm like, I don't know how much that is. I don't
No,
think
don't worry.
anybody uses-
Don't worry. Anyone under the age of 40 no longer knows what that is either.
I've seen so many people like talk like that and like on shows, and I'm like, I don't know what a stone is. Like, stones have various weights. How could you like make
It was actually named after the man who discovered that unit of measurement. His name was George
That's-
Stone.
That's stupid as fuck. That's even
It's not- I'm just
dumber.
coming up with bullshit.
Oh my god. Ross messaged me in all caps and said, I don't know what a stone is either. Thank you.
Who did?
Ronnie.
Oh, okay.
No one knows what a
And
stone is. It's
she's
fine.
British.
Basically, there's like there's 2 types of people in England. Those who pretend they know what stones actually are, and those who don't know what stones are. Obviously, we know stones as the thing, but not the unit of measurement. Anyway, What would you guys like to do? As you're currently in the inn, let me switch to some tavern music after my tangent.
I believe Chester was going to do some DV Canty info finding, right?
Yeah.
Ideally. And he's also going to whisper to you all, hold on to your coin purses while we're in here. Just a friendly reminder.
I give my coin purse to Warden because I don't think that anyone will rob him.
As Chester is saying that as well, and you guys all kind of like cast an eye around, you can see there were some people kind of eyeing you guys up, trying to see if they could figure out where on your persons you might have a coin purse. And they kind of like catch you looking around and immediately look back towards their drinks or their card games.
On this person's.
Yeah. Most of Linger's things are in her bag of holding, but like her walking around money is in a pouch on her belt that now has Rip sitting on it and like pointing at his skull eyes and pointing at people, like very much like just try it. Creepy ass little.
Someone looks over at Rip, he points at them and just draws a finger across his throat menacingly.
Yep.
And they're like, go back to whatever they were doing.
Yeah, so if I don't see any obvious Thieves' Canty stuff,
I mean,
probably...
there's not much in the way of like symbols or writing or anything, but a lot of the people in this establishment look like the sort of individual you're looking for.
These
you know what,
are the people we're looking for.
He's gonna go to one of the gambling tables and try to find an empty seat and say something along the lines of greetings, gentle people. Looking forward to playing a little gambling games with you. What do we have here? And as he's saying that in Thieves' Cant, he's gonna relay that he's looking for information and is willing to pay for it.
They all kind of like, everyone kind of like side glance your way with the exception of, you can see this male dwarf is the one dealing the cards. Got this kind of thick silver hair, amber eyes, kind of contrasting to most of the others in here, wearing some pretty expensive looking clothing and what seems to be a pair of very fine silk gloves that have like each of the suits of cards kind of embroidered on the back of the hands. Clearly they're his dealing gloves. And he kind of raises an eyebrow as you sit down, and he kind of like rests an elbow on the table. And that'll be
Bless you.
5 silver ante to join the game.
Very well, here you are, sir.
Alright, and he slides some chips your way and deals you a hand of cards. And you can see the others like as well from just kind of how they're holding their cards and how they're holding themselves. Can you give me a quick insight check?
Not a quick one, apparently. There we go. Yeah.
6. Okay. They're all here to play cards. And he just kind of looks you over and in Thieves' Cant is just kind of like, so what brings someone so finely dressed into our establishment?
Well, game, recognized game. I like those gloves. We are looking for information, intel, inputs, other IN words into regarding the incursion of the automatons.
Does your sheet have a record of passive insight or just passive perception? Let's have a little look. I mean, I know how we calculate it regardless. It's just thingy
Let's
plus
see passive
the
insight.
score, which is fine. Your
13,
insight
actually.
skill. Yes, cool. Excellent, good to know. So, as you kind of mention the automaton, you see a few of them shift a little nervously in their seats. He's going to give you a little check. And he... we might know a thing or two about that. Tell you what. We'll make this a little bit more interesting.
I like interesting.
We'll pause the cards for a bit. And we'll see how well you can hold your alcohol. If you can outdrink me, maybe I'll tell you what I know.
I am game, and I'm also one who is quite a fan of mixing two drinks together in one cup, so you have met a horrible adversary today.
He grins. You can see several teeth missing. Some of them have been replaced by that dwarven stone material you've seen previously, and he kind of leans back in his chair, looks over his shoulder, and nods at the bartender, who turns and starts preparing a couple of drinks. Brings them over. Sets them down in front of you while I load my list of drinks, because I've just suddenly forgotten the name of the drink.
Well, as you do that, I prefer, given the opportunity, to not drink with strangers. My name is Chesterfield. It's a pleasure to make you acquaintance.
Keela.
Keela. Last name withheld, I notice. Very wise.
The drinks are set down in front of you. It's this kind of large wooden tankard, and as you kind of look inside, you can see the inside of the tankard is lined with metal. And he kind of leans his elbows back on the table. You ever had troll's blood before?
Actual troll's blood or the drink named after it? Because I have had both. And he grabs it and drinks it down.
He laughs. Drinks. I need you to please give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Not my best.
As
14.
this drink burns all the way down. You can taste a few spices. There's notes of kind of cinnamon, a little bit of cumin, and then underneath all of that, you're very clearly drinking what is effectively watered down acid.
Do I detect a note of coming in this?
A note of what?
The music actually went.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of perfect.
Oh. I assure you I've done nothing of the sort.
Apologies.
Mira's just listening to this, like, what is that?
Oh, man. Just tell me what it is so I can give the man his drink. Yeah, with your 14, you do manage to pass the save. I'll roll one for him, because I didn't do that. And he... Alright. And you see as they all kind of pick their cards up and are seeming to continue the game, and he starts flicking cards across the table. Give me a very quick perception check.
14.
14 again. You with the 14s today. So you can see, I mean, obviously he's very clearly dealing cards from the deck, quite obviously. And it's not like he's necessarily trying to hide it. He does it quite clearly for you to be able to see this, but it is still, nonetheless, somewhat a little bit of sleight of hand, in a way. You watch as he goes to deal you your card. His dealing hand, the fingers kind of slip up his sleeve, and he flicks a card across the table to you.
Is it a good card? Or a
You,
bad card?
You turn it over and you have a look. It's, in terms of number and suit, it is a blank white card, but in the middle of the playing card is what appears to be dwarven runes instead of any other art or design on the card.
Would I recognize what these runes might indicate?
Do you speak Dwarven or Dwarvish, whatever it is?
I do not speak. Nope.
Were you also scrolling through at the same speed I was? Because I was like, trying to see if you do. Are the others nearby or gathered around and watching this, or are you all kind of spreading throughout the tavern?
I thought we were all just hunkered over his shoulder watching this.
Yeah, that's good.
Ignore us. We were just here.
I'm on Warden's back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lindsay. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Linger would just find a place to sit down with her back against a wall
Okay.
at a table and let people do their thing without her interfering.
So Linger's not nearby, which is good to know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Linger would have been like, I see this card, pass it here and I can translate it if you can't.
Nah. Letting people do their thing.
Yeah.
Don't need me there for that.
He is going to make a mental note of the rune, or, if possible, pocket the card.
Yeah, I mean, they very much don't seem to be giving any indication that they're actively playing, and as you kind of like look up and look around, you see as he flicks a card from the deck across the table to you. And everyone, I mean, it's quite clear everyone saw him just deal 2 cards, and not a single person reacts in any way.
You know what? He's going to put the gold on the table. Well, this hand is not the greatest. I fold, and he's going to put the cards in his pocket and get up, but leave the gold.
So you're pocketing the one with the runes, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Because the rest are just normal playing cards. Just be like, oi, dick, give me my card. Okay, cool. You stand up, he kind of nods and... Watch your back out there. In Thieves' Can. Obviously, out loud, it's more of a, oh yeah, great game. You know, keep those clothes clean.
You do you.
Yeah.
Then he will take the card over to Linger.
Linger, I can't read, help.
Help me, Linger. I don't know how to read.
Linger, I do believe, although I am a prodigious reader, this unfortunately is in a language that is beyond me for the moment. I'm very good with languages, though, so probably just, translate it and I'll pick it up momentarily.
Oh, of course. Oh. And Linger will take the card and for what happened to the music?
Should still be going.
Now it is.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
I just got scared. I got scared because my light keeps flickering off, and then I was like,
Oh.
"Oh God,
I'm inside your house.
what
This is what you get.
Ah.
My revenge begins now.
Well, I had my spreadsheet open with my linger spell book open, and so that's what I've been messing with while other people were doing fun things. Not that her spell book isn't fun. Anyway, we'll make a show of like taking the card and kind of like holding it out a little bit, then closer and turn it, just to, like try not to make it look like she can't just do it in 2 seconds and then just maybe feel bad. But she does indeed do the thing that would allow her to read the card, which is tap into her education.
Do you speak Dwarvish, or are you just using comprehend languages?
Wow.
Just because it's good to know if you speak it or not.
Minutes.
Hold on. Sorry. I assumed since you roped me in that it was something I could do. Since you made a
Chester's gonna be
point.
very disappointed if you can't do this.
Hold on. Where are languages on here? Let's see. Features. No, that's not it.
They're just underneath your skills.
You're underneath my skills.
Ooh.
So it's skills, then senses, languages.
Okay, I don't have them all on here. Let me open up the other thing. Jeez,
To be honest, I
crow.
just looked at the other thing.
Yeah, I usually have them both open, but
Me too.
I did not. Da 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 da.
It's all good. This is also giving me time to get stuff ready for you.
I suppose that she is casting a spell. The spell that, you know what? Can they cast it together? Maybe we'll make it like a little team thing, since they both can cast comprehend languages.
Sure.
Just-
I do like the idea that
She's
she's
like,
put. Sorry.
just because I don't speak Dwarvish, but perhaps we can suss this out together.
Stranger things have happened.
It's true. Yeah, no, I like the idea that she put this huge show on of like, yeah, I'm just doing this for his benefit because I could probably do this immediately. Turns out everyone's like, I can't read Dwarvish. Shit.
The only reason she did a show is because I thought you had it set up for her to be able to do it, because roped me in.
No, it's just because it's in Dwarvish and he can't read Dwarvish, so he came over to see if you could.
He just assumed you read all languages that he doesn't read, and the ones he does.
That's fine. I'm not mad. I just think it's funny. So yeah,
Oh,
she
absolutely.
does that. And then how do I edit that?
Edit what?
My languages.
Top of your sheet, next to your name, the 3 dots, and then
Yes.
edit, which puts your sheet into edit mode, and then you should just be able to click where it says languages and
Sweet.
Edit.
Thank you. Draconic.
so between the two of you, you cast comprehend languages.
We do. Real good, like.
So good. This is not the right name. Where's it gone?
Like so good that it's almost a performance because Chester's awesome like that. Maybe
Exactly.
we're getting tips. Because Chester is a showman.
Yes,
Really
the greatest
putting some
showman, many would
extra.
say.
What a great movie that I haven't seen, but the music is really good. And I love Hugh Jackman, so
I too love a huge Ackman. You comprehend languages, and you look down at these dwarven runes, which clearly state the name, the Runestone Forge.
Well, this rune means rune. That's kind of interesting.
Mm. Well,
Have we heard of or come across the Runestone Forge in our travels?
I'd say it's possibly more likely Chester in terms of what you've been keeping an ear and eye out for in this town. But I will allow Linger to assist, just in case there's been any possible discussion or mention of it that had come up back in her day. So I will say Chester with advantage from the assistants. Give me, please, I will say your choice of history or perception.
Perception it is. Slightly better. 16.
16. You had... It's not that you'd necessarily seen the runestone forge in and of itself, but you'd seen kind of walking around town, and now the pieces are kind of slotting into place. Various markings and different symbols of thieves' cant, which alluded to directions to, at the time, what appeared to be either two separate things or two separate locations, but occasionally you'd see, like, runestones this way, or this way to the forge, and things like that. At one point, you probably would have come across one where it was like entrance to the forge, and you're kind of stood there and you're like, all that there is around here is buildings that look like just normal people buildings and a manhole cover, and that's about it. So you get the sense it's possibly either there's an entrance disguised in one of those buildings, or it might be an underground location. Especially if people here are being secretive and passing out cards with the name written in Dwarvish to people who seem chill,
I wonder if
who
we
aren't
could access
narcs.
it through the goblin mines, perhaps. Perhaps not. All right. Well, this seems to be a potential hub of sort of roguish activities, and I will say that quite often a hub such as that will be just overflowing with. I'm not going to do the whole input data thing again, but you know where I'm going with this. What do you all think?
Sorry, I blacked out.
Well, perhaps you don't drink the troll blood.
Sorry.
Have that effect.
She's under her third goblet.
Mira's just been like limp on top of Warden, just unconscious this whole time.
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking to, there's somebody coming out to fix our carbon monoxide detector, and I was texting Jay about it. I just, like, you know how marriage is. You gotta talk about everything. Sometimes.
Well, we could vacate this establishment for the time being, unless you all wish to stay and get your drink on. Or we could search out some of these signages I've seen that indicate where this runestone forge might be, and try to find the entrance there.
I think following up on this runestone seems to be a better use of our time. It's still a little early for revelry in the day, I think.
I mean, don't underestimate day drinking, but I do still agree.
I think we should do it. I
I'll
don't
save that
drink.
for later as well.
I don't drink though. All I drink is apple juice and orange juice and any other kinds of juices that aren't alcoholic, and water, and also tea. But coffee has too much caffeine in it for me. If I'm being honest, it just kind of makes me like.
Please always be honest.
I am.
Okay. So
Sorry.
we're gonna go try to find the place, right?
Yeah.
And
Find a
not
place.
find the place. Drink later.
Yeah. Sorry, Lindsay. I had to say something stupid. If
Oh,
you
you're good.
remember who my character is. Sorry. It's what my character would do.
I know we've just spent like 70% of this session not playing D&D, so I'm just trying to get this.
50, but I was music when it gets sad. Anyway, let's go.
All right.
So-
I will try to lead them to a spot where I saw some of these markings.
You quite easily backtrack across the town. The closest marking you would have seen was written on the side of what looks to be just kind of like a small general store.
All right. Shall investigate.
And you don't see
everyone's
anything kind
running.
of alluding to being around or on the street, but the sign definitely says, like, enter the forge.
Love that.
What kind of shop? A general store, you said?
Yes. Bit
He's just
run
gonna,
down. It doesn't look like too many people go into it, but somehow it's still around.
He's just gonna quickly run in, like very quickly, and say to the proprietor, "Excuse me, do you have any giant lizard eggs?" And Thieves' Cats is gonna be saying, "Runestone Forge around here somewhere."
A male drow kind of looks you over. There's a lot of that in this town. And he just... Back in Thieves' Cant. And who sent you?
Short answer is the fates themselves. Well, maybe that's the long answer. I get my answer lengths confused sometimes. Another answer is, and then he says the name of the guy. Actually, he'll show him the card. He'll discreetly slide it across the counter.
Slides the card over to himself and under the counter and he nods. Stock on that's running a little low at the moment, but you might be able to find some if you head round there. There's a small storeroom just under the trapdoor.
Very well.
And
Let
kind
me
of
just gather
points to a trapdoor behind one of the kind of like display pieces.
Let me just gather my fellow folk from outside, and we will lickety-split head down there, and he will come out. I think I may have found it. Act cool.
Okay. You all head inside, acting cool, of course. You head to the trapdoor, and you can see there is this kind of like very thin spiraling stone staircase that's kind of dimly lit by torches every few meters. You head down, presumably, and you find yourself in what seems to be yet another tavern under the ground. You can see there is very clearly like a bar area. It's this kind of large circular cistern almost. And you can very clearly hear off to one side the ringing of hammers and anvils. There is very clearly a forge down here. And kind of looking around to the other side, you can see a large crowd gathered kind of few meters away, and rising up above the crowd is what seems to be a large cage. You can hear cheering every now and again, shouting, and then this kind of more general tavern area just has a lot of very shady looking individuals going about their business, having a drink, talking to other shady individuals. Kind of as you make your way in, you can see this lizard folk barkeep kind of looks your way and nods.
All right, this is a place. Should we spread out? Try to get information?
Yes.
Could you provide some guidance on perhaps what or how we should be asking?
Could you write me a note and pin it to my chest, please?
How do I
am
talk
also-
to people?
I have no problem splitting up. I just don't want to arouse suspicion or create a situation that would hinder the more socially capable of us.
I think we should just split into twos. I think that you and Linger should go together, and me and Morden should go together, because I think that leaves us with 2 people that can talk to people and 2 people that can't. I'll let you decide who is who.
Clearly Warden, right?
The warden's a huge people person.
Yeah, you know what? Warden is oozing cool as well, so people are going to be like wanting to talk to him. I feel like.
I agree with that. The Warden is very cool. Mira puts a hand on him. Ow, you're kind of warm, actually. Like the metal kind of burns. The metal?
Is it? What's the weather here, Mitch?
Underground.
The weather is underground, yeah. It's
Mira
it's
touches
not
the metal. He's very cool.
Cool and clammy. Is that?
yeah, it's not great down here, but then at the same time, judging the people down here, they're probably not down here for the environment.
Wow.
You know, it's
Okay.
not like a popular holiday destination.
I bet Linger's skin feels great in this.
It's yeah, it's very clammy. It's a little humid.
Gross.
There's the faint smell of we are very near the sewers.
Crispy. Like a McDonald's Sprite.
We should. I say we should have some sort of code. Should any of us get in trouble, say just go like this on your head, as if you're scratching it, trying to get a thought. And if others see that happening for a prolonged period, because maybe your head will actually be itchy and you got to itch it. But if it's there for a long time, then the rest of us will come and help with whatever might be going on.
You just hear
Question.
metal scraping against his helmet.
Question. What if we can't see each other? Because I'm kind of short.
And I keep getting shorter.
We perhaps need an audible signal as well.
Can I just?
Okay. Say this. Oh, my head is so itchy. But
Ah, my head is so itchy. Okay,
yeah,
we got
it's
it.
both worlds.
Yeah. It's the osteoporosis that's setting in.
You drink milk.
I don't like
Device.
Okay. Let me get out my notebook for once.
Wow.
All
This
right,
is not the right notebook.
and break. And then Chester.
Wait, what? We don't
starts
know
swagging.
what questions we're supposed to be asking.
Well, that makes at least 3 of us.
No.
And break.
Wait, hold on. Above game. What are we looking for? What are we looking for? And what should
Information on the automaton attacks.
we? Okay.
Other than that, I don't really know if there's anything more specific we want.
Okay.
There.
Cool. Super. I guess we just.
Ambry?
Well,
Yeah,
should
I
we
get- Oh, go ahead, Lindsay.
we have that pesky sun god stuff. Should probably keep an ear out for that. Maybe not like
Yep.
directly ask, but just be any
Sun God?
any houseless people suddenly bursting into flames lately.
You
Should we
walk
ask
over and sit
about-
down. Praise the sun, am I right?
It's a Solaire, am I right?
Yeah.
Mitch wrote the sun god because he hates how hot it is in England.
Yes.
We know about the sands of Syldaris, right? Like we read something about it. Should we ask about that to randos?
I
Mm,
think that one's pretty
very
secret-y.
specific.
Sands, maybe.
Like that. Yeah, like bigger bads might be using the sands.
Okay.
You just get shanked immediately for asking about the sands.
Could we hatch a dragon out of this?
How to hatch your
egg?
dragon.
Okay, got it. Mira writes all of that down on her hand.
Excellent.
I don't have parchment. I actually don't have a pen. She just says all of it out loud and is like, got it.
Hey Mitch,
Hello.
can I do an Arcana check to see if I know how to hatch a dragon egg? Well,
Sure.
not me, but Linger.
Lindsay's like, I know how to hatch a dragon egg, but does Linger?
Linger doesn't know how to hatch a dragon egg.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if I know how to hatch a dragon egg? Or no,
Why not?
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if I think I know how to hatch a
There we
dragon
go.
egg?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because that makes a lot more sense. That's a 2.
Perfect. Perfect.
Oh wait, I have inspiration. Can I use my inspiration on this silly
Oh.
idea?
You can use it on whatever you want. It's your inspiration to
Cool.
do with as
It's a-
you please.
Got a 14.
14.
You could circle
Um,
back on that later.
Yes. For now, you're not amazing on the specifics, but you do have some vague recollections of like the main process, maybe. But it's the
Okay.
specifics that'll get you,
Yeah.
and you're
something
aware.
to mull over later.
Yeah, you're aware that you don't know the specifics, or not all of
Yeah,
them.
I guess. And on that, I guess we split up.
Okay.
Ambry.
Okay. So, who are we following first then, guys?
Should
Why
we roll
don't-
initiative?
Oh,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say we can we could do initiative, that's a good idea, or I was going to say one of you can roll a d4, and in my head I'll assign the numbers to people, and if your number comes up, it's your group.
Okay. So should we all roll a d4 then?
Oh, I rolled initiative.
Well, how would people rather do it, initiative or d4?
Combined initiatives.
I'm fine with initiative.
Everyone roll initiative.
11 plus lingers.
It's simple.
Also 11. 11 plus
18.
Warden's 18. Wow,
Oh,
what a
that's like we're-
close one. So that's
There you go.
29 for us and 26 for you guys. All right, Warden and Mira, let's fucking go, baby.
So, Warden, Mura, presumably Warden, seeing as Mura's probably riding on Warden's back, so Warden's in
Only
control
if
of the
he lets
walking.
me.
Nope.
I
Yeah.
asked him, can I ride on your back? Like, is that okay? Because I like being a little bit taller, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm kind of short.
Very well.
Okay, she just and like launches herself, scrambling up
It's
onto
like a
his
forced
back.
jump onto his back.
Yeah, it's like it is 100%.
Protocol 3, protect the pilot.
Okay, so seeing as Warden's in charge of the walking, unless Mira's
I'm
directing.
gonna, like, ratatouille the top of his head and like tap. Which no, I'm not gonna do that.
There's a little joystick.
Hello.
Yeah, wrong one. That's the
You
other
guys
one.
Oh God.
Oh god!
Yeah.
How dare!
Took
This
me a
is
minute.
my pure character. How could you?
You happy
So-
to see me, Warden, or is that just your joystick?
Or is it
Warden
just
and
your
Mira,
atten-
what catches your attention? Where would you like to go? There's the kind of taverny bar area.
No.
There's the cage that people seem to be crowding around. There's the sounds of the forge in the distance.
Mira like bends her head so she's like right cheek to cheek to helmet with Gordon and his.
Cheek to helmet,
Double
eh?
cheeked up.
Yeah, we're all cheeked up. And she's like, okay, so I don't want to go to the bar place because it's not really my scene. Do you want to go to the cage or the forge? I'll let you pick.
I can do either or.
Okay.
I feel like I know what Ethan's interested in.
What does Ethan want to do? The cage? I'm getting that vibe.
I am interested what's up with the cage, yes.
Okay, I wanted to go to the
feeling.
cage. So
Okay.
Mira's like, to the cage.
Okay.
Why do I feel like this is
Warden.
like some sort of like UFC thing?
Yeah, get it.
Warden stomps over to the cage. And Mura, with your vantage point over the crowd, as the cheer goes up once more, you see a reasonably well-built half-elf, from the looks of it, has been picked up and thrown into the side of this cage on the inside. As the cheer from the crowd goes up, you see there is a kind of human male with 2 extra arcano-mechanical arms that are both raised, kind of victory pose, fists clenched, and he... Yeah! As the crowd are all
Whoa.
cheering. And you watch as the half-elf kind of just slams into the bars of the cage, drops to the ground, staggers back up to his feet, wipes some blood off his face, throws it on the floor, and just charges back in at this guy and starts throwing punches and kicks.
They're fighting!
He's got the dog in him.
The what? The dog? Oh, the dog. Mura pulls Biscuit Basket out of her.
I understood that reference.
Biscuit basket.
I did not, but I don't care. Mira pulls Biscuit Basket and she's like, he's right here.
Not what I meant.
Okay.
So this is underground UFC,
Cage fighting.
Yes.
Hell in a Cell.
Pretty much. Yeah, the
Is
crowd
this,
seemed
guy
to
on
be
the top knot?
enamored. No, unfortunately not. The crowd are loving what they're seeing. You can see there is fresh blood splattered all over what seems to be this stone floor that they're fighting on. Various older blood stains all over it, all over the bars of the cage. And you hear kind of echoing out from a loudener, which you would all know, one of the other ingenious arcano-mechanical inventions, which is effectively just a mechanical device that has a similar effect to the thaumaturgy spell imbued into it, for loudening one's voice as the announcement kind of booms across the crowd. And you just hear, "Oh, it's heating up in the Decagon!" And the crowd, "Yeah! 2 men enter, 1 man leaves." And the crowd are just going nuts.
Where have I heard that before?
I don't know. It just sounds kind of familiar though, but I don't know what a Decagon is. This Mira just like it hurts her brain.
So So the fighter with 4 arms, is it
Yes.
just he only has the only mechanical parts are the 2 extra arms, right?
Yeah. And you can see, like, as they're kind of fighting each other, the half-elf is very much, like, trying to duck and weave around everything. And the human seems to be trying to go in for these grapples, and when he can, he basically tries to, like, grapple him with his human arms, and then the mechanical arms just start pummeling. And then occasionally the mechanical arms you see are what's picking him up, lifting him, and just throwing him across the cage.
You see, the main issue here is that the half elf simply doesn't have the height advantage here or the range.
Mm-hmm.
He simply cannot make good attacks without getting in too close for grappling.
Of course, yeah, of course. Wow, yeah. Whew. I can't see him winning ever.
This is looking pretty bleak for him. I have no idea how they allowed these 2 weight classes to come together like this.
Yeah, I just think it's totally unfair to the half elf, but you know, when you step in the gong,
The gone.
you definitely have to, you know, be prepared to get fucked up. Oh god. Mira just like covers her mouth. I don't know where that came from.
It's the
first time
Decagon's
Mira's-
influence.
The first time Mira's ever cursed.
Mira and Warden, just UFC commentators.
Amazing.
But yeah, you can see coin changing hands, people muttering and murmuring amongst themselves.
I'm just gonna lean over to like anyone who's by me. I'm gonna point out to the fighter with the 4 arms. Who is that guy?
There's a big kind of scarred, gnarly red dragonborn, kind of taken a bit by surprise, like kind of jumps. He was focusing intently on the fight, and the sudden voice makes him like, oh, and he turns around and then sees the massive metal man. Oh,
Warden jump scare.
yeah. It's gone. I've lost it. The man pops out of existence. He no longer has a name and therefore no longer exists. Where did he go? Here he is.
So this rapture means where he just disappears after screaming.
Yeah.
Arms
So
left
you were
behind.
asking about the human, yeah, with the mechanical arms. He kind of like unfolds one of the arms that were crossed and gestures towards the cage. That is Viral. One of the newer fighters in the cage.
Viral.
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 Ooh.
Yeah. He's come to Jura recently. Caused a bit of an upstart in the Decagon. I've, of course, gone up against him myself. He's not undefeated, but he did get in a lucky punch at the throat. As you can hear.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a little inexperienced, but the results speak for himself, I guess. He does often let the mechanical arms do a bit too much of the talking, and as he says that, you see as this half-elf kind of slips under the guard of the mechanical arms and full-on just uppercut into the human's chin, and he staggers back hard, drops down to one knee. Yeah, you know, if the arms can't block it, he's very much not great at taking the hits. He's pretty reliant on finishing them first. Still pretty
see.
new, as I say.
What do you got to do to get into one of these fights?
Asking for a friend.
I am the friend, aren't I?
Yeah, I
You're
see.
the friend.
You're gonna want to talk to that man over there. And he points, and you can see there is a just filthy looking goblin sat behind a table with this large heavy like ledger spread out in front of him. People are walking over to him, talking to him, nodding, kind of pointing emphatically at the book, handshakes, writes something in the book, coin exchanges hands. If you're looking to fight, he's the one you're gonna want to be talking to.
100%. I'm looking to fight.
Looks at Mura and... Okay. I thought you meant him.
Joking.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I do mean him. Ah, you're silly. Of course I'm joking.
Like, audible sigh of relief. Like, I'm sorry, I genuinely thought we were going to witness a murder. Not that that doesn't happen here.
Don't worry, I've murdered people before.
But, yeah. Talk to Flattooth over there, he'll get you signed up.
Thumbs up. Oh, Mira like bends down and she's like, hey, do you know anything about the... And she looks at her hand where the ink has kind of smeared a little bit. Automaton attacks. Sun God?
You do remember Linga saying, let's not discuss the sun god.
Just kidding.
It happened again.
This puts
This is the
puts his
second
head
time.
over- Knowing it's coming, Ward will just put his head over her mouth when she starts to mention sun god.
Sun, and then...
The second time Linga's been like, maybe let's not mention this, and Mira's gone, do you know anything about
so
this?
stupid.
It's fine. Roll with it. Go with it. Let's see what happens.
I like saying sun and then Warden like putting his hand over her mouth and then that's it. Yeah.
He kind of leans in a bit. And too much that I can say. To my knowledge, though, I think he might know a thing or two about it, and he nods at the human mid-fight in the cage. Other than that,
dude's arms off.
couple of guards sometimes on their break wander down in here. You might be able to get something from one of them.
Cool.
If not, maybe win a fight and see if you can get some information as your reward.
That is a great idea.
Warren just gets the quest above his head, win fight. Oh god damn it.
Quest started.
How many bath bombs do I have in my bath bomb of holding? I take out one of my bath bombs from my bath bomb bag of holding, of which I only have 4 left, and I hand it to him. Thank you so much for your help. It's a bath bomb, so like when you go home and you want to take a bath, you just run all of the water and you drop it in, and it smells really good, and it's supposed to be relaxing. And I just think that, you know, like you look like you could use some relaxation. Like self-care is very important, and sometimes you just got to, you know?
He gives you a very incredulous look at first, kind of gives it a sniff, and you see him immediately perk up, looks around to make sure no one else is watching, and slips it into his pouch.
It's vanilla and cedar wood, okay? So it's got like a little bit of sweetness, but it's mostly masculine. But I think scents are for everybody, so you don't really have to worry about that if you want something a little more, you know, flowery. We'll see. Well, you know, just try it out, and if you see me again, I got horns. You know where to find me. I don't, you know, I'm around. And she just like pats Warden on the thing, and she's like, okay, enjoy that. My name's Mira, so if you you know, you want another one, just let's go get into a fight.
At which point, as you stomp off towards the goblin, we're going to go ahead and take another quick break, at which point we will pick up with Linga and Chester after the break.
Sounds good.
All right.
How's that for a segue?
All right.
Love that.
Excellent. Another 10-minute break. I'm
Sounds good.
way too close to my webcam. There we go. Another 10-minute break. We'll see you all here shortly. Goodbye.
Shortly.
Drat, I'm a minute late.
We're back. Hello.
We're back.
You're fine.
Hello.
Hi.
And with the coming back, we return to the Runestone Forge and Chester and Linga. As Mura and Warden start heading off towards the cage, where are you guys going? What would you guys like to do?
We've talked a little bit in break.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'll do it in character. Watch this.
Yeah.
So, Linga, I don't have so much a subtle plan. I do have a very unsubtle plan. So if you have a subtle plan you want to try, I would suggest we do that first. And then perhaps if that does not bear fruit, if that does not bear fruit, we can try my less than subtle plan.
I'm going to be terribly honest. Subtlety has never truly been my forte. With ample time to plan and strategize, possibly, but just on the fly, I'm afraid Rip nor I would know how to proceed. So, sometimes a blunt instrument is exactly what you need.
All right. You know what? In this honesty that we are forming here today, I will say I'm kind of glad you said that.
Well, should we have some sort of code amongst ourselves for if you should require me to do something, or for Rip?
You just wing it if you see an opportunity to do so. And he steps up to the bar.
Okay.
And then steps onto the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if I may have your attention.
Oh God. Okay, we're going this way.
Yeah.
They all stop and look.
First and foremost, for taking your time today, I would like to buy a round of drinks for the entire bar.
Immediately, the whole mood shifts. First they look around and they're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" The minute you say that, everyone's immediately receptive and now actively listening.
Okay.
My name is...
Oh,
Oh yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick, just to help with this, hopefully, prestidigitation, some sparkles behind, and then maybe cast light on your jacket or something so you're glowy.
Hell
As
yeah.
If that's okay, if you want
please,
it.
Please, this is exactly the sort of help I thought you might have up your sleeveys.
All right, yeah. So she'll tap with her tail, and your coat starts glowing, and then there's sparkles behind you.
My name is Chester Fields, and I am in need of information. So on top of these already free drinks that I offer you, should any of you wish to provide me with the information I need, it will be an additional drink in your warm and toasty belly. What I am looking for is data input. He does the whole thing he's been doing there. And, specifically on the automaton attack. Please and thank you all for listening to me today. I shall be set at the end of the bar there for any who wish to procure that second drink for the mere good price of some more information. Thank you and good day. I said good day, sirs, madams, and all. Bows, gets down, sits down.
There's some murmurings and mutterings. People start going back to their drink. You can see there are some people kind of like discussing amongst themselves. You can hear from some of the tables closer as well, like, should we go over? I don't know anything. Do you know anything? Do we pretend we know something? Try and get that drink? You know, like those sorts of discussions and musings. Is Linga doing anything in particular as Chester's doing this? Outside of maintaining the spells?
She's gonna kind of attempt to Vanna White, look pretty and gesture toward, like, as she's casting, try to do it gracefully and sidekicky. You know.
Mhm.
You know what? Chester's gonna see that and say, "Oh, also, should anyone come up to talk, maybe keep your eyes peeled on them to see if there's any obvious deceptions happening. That'll aid me. I'll do it as well, but two, or rather 4 eyes are better than 2 eyes. Yeah.
Well, and Rip also.
Oh,
So
6 eyes. And actually, he may be made entirely of eyes. We don't know.
we have no idea.
Rip
So,
strokes
yeah.
his chin.
There's a slight sound of popping as additional eyes show up underneath his mask. So yeah, Rip can help Linger keep an eye on people as she's Vanna Whiting and casting spells.
Okie dokie. There's a few moments where nothing really seems to be happening. People just seem to have gone back to their drinks. They're putting in their order for the drink that you've ordered from everyone, and I'll just come back in after the session and deduct money for that. I'll figure it out in the interest of saving people's sanity. And as you're just kind of... Are you also having a drink yourself?
Yeah, but he's actually going to move on since this is serious business. He's going to have a water, but put a little umbrella in it if you can.
Of course. You just kind of reach over and grab one. Your arms are long enough. And you get probably about halfway through the drink, and you linger. You can kind of see someone approaching from the other side of the bar towards Chester. And Chester, you can certainly hear them kind of sliding along the bar up next to you. And you hear, "So, you're looking for anything in particular?"
Well, I would probably say to you that give me everything you got in a non-threatening manner.
And you both can see it's this rather tall, rather lanky furbolg, with kind of like a very short, like electric blue mohawk. And he kind of leans in. I know a guy who was working in the docking crew in Bimbledon.
Yes, we have
Where
heard tell that.
The ship crashed nearby.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ship scheduled to come in, but it didn't quite make it to the port. We don't know how or why, but it sort of came down nearby is all we heard. He said it was registered in with 3 passengers, hailing from the Silent Isles.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the names of the ship or these passengers?
I really shouldn't say. It's yeah, with everything going on right now, it's kinda, it's information I shouldn't really be passing on until it's kinda more okay.
I totally understand, of course, wise to be, prudent in these matters. Could I refresh your drink there? And here, use this as a coaster, perhaps, and he'll slide a gold over.
He looks around nervously. I mean, I really shouldn't, but and he's just kind of like scratching his head. You can see there's a lot of like internal debate and also just genuinely trying to think back and remember to what he's heard.
I assure you, sir, you have nothing to worry about. This will not come back on you. I don't even want to know your name, to be honest. How about that?
That does help a bit, to be fair.
Thank you.
But, well, I do remember them saying it was, not unregistered. It did have a name, but, it wasn't registered in the sense that, it had been booked in somehow, but there wasn't supposed to be a ship coming from the Silent Isles that we were aware of, or they were aware of. So everyone was a bit kind of wary of it, and then, of course, it got brought down, so it never really reached the destination, but someone must have somehow snuck it into the ledger or something, I guess. I don't quite know, really. But, I think he told me it was, and he kind of looks around again. The Lone Nemesis, I think, was the name of the ship.
All right. The Lone Nemesis, flying out of the Silent Isles.
And it came down in the mountains near Bimbleduke. And then, of course, shortly after there was the attack on Bimbleduke, and then a little bit after that there was the attack here.
Connected, I presume.
I don't know if they are, but, you know, people were saying that they thought they saw something leaving the ship. They weren't quite sure.
You know what brought down this ship?
He looks around nervously again, leans in even closer. Well, I don't know this for sure, but I believe somebody told me it might have been a dragon. But apparently there weren't no dragon sightings nearby, so I don't know if that's the truth or not.
All right, I'll mark it down as a TBD at this point. Would you say the 3 registered passengers might come into play in some manner? Were they common folk or perhaps high stations?
Well, it was registered that there would be 3 passengers on there, but there wasn't any record of who they were or any identity or anything. It was just, you know, Lone Nemesis, 3 passengers, a little bit of cargo that wasn't recovered.
All right, well, you've given me some good information. Could you perhaps, and he'll take out his topographic map, could you perhaps mark where this ship went down on my map here?
Yeah, I think it was right over here in the mountains, and he marks near Bimbleduke where it is. So, why don't we switch to the map for you, and load up the Eroth map, and then zoom all the way into the Sleeping Gardens, which is pre-done for us from where I was last time. Of course, Bimbleduke is here. And he marks a spot on the map. In fact, there should be, yes there is, a lovely drawing tool.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Um,
Or maybe
And-
you have to do it.
he marks
Whoa.
a lovely little spot right there.
Okay, well, that gives me the where. We've got some potential hows in the form of a dragon. We got some potential who's in the form of 3 passengers. Now the whys, I guess that'll be a greater question for another time, probably.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not that wise. I can't help you on that one.
Well, gathering information such as this, every little bit helps. It will eventually fill the cup of knowledge.
Sure.
Ah, man, a few words. Well, I thank you. And he reaches out a hand for a shake.
Shakes it.
Oh, before you go, Linga, any questions you think I should ask this individual?
No, I don't think the other topics that we are looking into really, I don't think,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have a good day, sir.
And you. Bye. And, like, shuffles away, looking around to see if anyone was kind of watching him this whole time.
Were they? Just gonna
Doesn't-
see, look around to see if anyone was watching intently the conversation.
I'll say, give me an insight check. Because some people might have been doing so slyly. And I'll say, either you or Linga can
I
make the
actually
check,
asked Linga
one
to
of
help
you
me
with
that, so-
advantage, because this entire time you asked Linga to keep an eye out on people watching. So either one of you can make the check with advantage from the other one helping,
I'm +3.
Okay,
regardless of proficiency.
I will assist you. It's +1.
13 or 3. I think we'll go with the 13.
Because of how it shows up, I thought you just rolled 2 13s, and I was like, nice. Doesn't seem like it. I mean, there were... Linga, you definitely picked up on a lot of people kind of occasionally glancing over. There were a lot of side eyes. And Chester looking around now, you don't see anyone that's kind of staring intently or watching the Furbolg as they go. Rip didn't notice either.
Yep.
I guess he'll station himself at the bar, and with the possibility that others might come up.
Mm-hmm.
Time being.
Okay. Fair enough. At which point, Warden and Mira, you reach the goblin, who looks up at you, leans back in the chair. Can I help you?
Hi, I'm Mira.
Hello.
I am Warden.
Right. What can I do you for?
What's your name? We introduced ourselves. Who are you?
Flat Tooth.
It. Oh, yeah. Warden wants to fight.
Right, now we're talking, okay, so there's a reason to be here. Okay.
Well,
Kind
I
of
mean,
sizes Warden up.
You don't always have to have a reason to be somewhere. I mean, it's probably a good idea, but like, you can be wherever you want. You know what I mean? Like,
Honey, most people who are down here for a reason. They don't just like the ambiance.
people don't just live here. Okay.
No.
I used to live underground once. It was a lot nicer than this, honestly. Actually, it's not bad.
house there, but well, I think I have a house there. I just haven't been back in a long time, so maybe check that out.
So you want to fight, huh?
How do I fight?
Looks over at Warden. Okay, so, you can go in against pretty much anyone here, to be perfectly honest. We can randomly match you with someone.
He points at the guy with 4 arms.
Okay. You're gonna have to give him a moment to have a little bit of a recuperation, but I'm sure we can arrange that. For newcomers, it's 10 silver to enter.
Isn't 10 silver just 1 gold?
Right, but it's because we have the 5 silver entry fee and then 5 silver for covering the expenses for if a newcomer immediately dies.
Okay, Mira hands him 1 gold.
Busting my
I
balls
got you.
here.
I'll give him the 10.
You're giving him 10 silver?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have your purse on you anyway. I have it, so.
Oh, that's right. Mira reaches for her purse and she doesn't have anything. I lost my purse.
Your hijinks aren't welcome here.
Oh, God.
That happens down here a lot.
My God. I don't know if I'll ever find it again.
Okay, you got a stage name, or am I putting you in as Warden?
You want me to whip up 100 names for you?
Well,
Yeah.
let me go to ChatGPT.
They're all like Barry Wardenlow.
I'm trying to come up with Near on the Machine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Mira and the Machine.
Keep up with the band name theme
He's
going
the-
here.
He's the Machine.
Okay,
And I'm the Mira.
okay.
We're a package deal. I mean, I'm not going in the ring with him, but it would.
I
kinda
mean,
be
we
fair
do
'cause the
tag
other
team
guy-
if you want, but
Oh no, that's such a bad idea.
yeah, you look like you would break. No
well,
offense.
That's kind of rude, honestly.
No, she's like the helper character, like in like a fighting game. Like whenever I get my combo going, she'll come in and like I'll throw her at the opponent.
Yeah. I'm like a gnome that you throw.
It's like
You throw gnomes.
We
it's
did
like,
that in campaign 1.
I know. Deep breath.
It's like how Maya is in
He's a
Street
journey.
Fighter. Yeah, like how you play as fucking Phoenix Wright in Capcom, and Maya can just come run up and trip the opponent.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
He writes your name down in the book. Okay. Sign here. If anything breaks or dies, we cannot be held fully responsible. You fully understand that you are doing this and entering this risk at your own will. You know, the usual.
Yeah, he'll sign it. Let's see.
The book glows.
Yeah.
Warden's chest glows. He melts. I got his soul.
No, no.
He closes his death note. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. If that's armor, please remove it over at the side. If it's not, okay. Any weapons, please leave them over at the side. Bare knuckle only. Arcano-mechanical enhancements, as you can see, are not necessarily disallowed, but sometimes frowned upon. Depends who you're fighting. This is a little bit unfair, as the half-elf is just slammed against the side of the cage and dragged along. But, you know, he wanted to give it a try.
Let's go, baby.
I think it's time he'd fight someone his own size.
Should be interesting.
Hey, do you remember when I suggested getting extra arms? That might have come in handy. Now, get it handy? Because you have 4 hands?
I have a suitable amount of arms, thank you.
Okay. She just
The
put me down, please, so you can go.
the current
he's just
prize, if you win, you'll get 10 gold.
Wait, can we have some, and maybe some information? We're looking for some information.
Depends what you're looking for and if you're willing to pay.
Well, it's, I would like to, if we win the fight, get the information.
Fair enough.
Okay, great. But if you don't have any information, then I want the money. Got it?
We'll see what we can do.
Okay, you got it. We're
Good enough for me.
negotiating. And if you
Right.
don't pay up, Warden will rip your arms off.
The
Okay.
helmet just tilts over to her like, what?
Okay. If you don't pay up, Warden will, he'll do something.
Ooh.
Noted.
Yeah, you write it down. You know
I mean-
that in your book.
Generally, you don't get very far down here in a place that's full of thieves and killers by not making good on your promises, but I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, because we expect you to make good on your promises as
Warren starts walking away with her on his back.
as thieves and killers.
Warden is just going to like hand Mira his sword.
Things will hold it. It's a saucer.
Yeah, I imagine it's like the for the 40k fans out there, it's like that one mini with Lionel Johnson where he's like big and like this little guy in like robes is holding like his big scabbard for his sword.
That's me. That's Mira. Holding the big sword.
Okay.
I'll post that in the adventures so you guys can see it.
So, Warden and Mira head over to get Warden ready while they are
Yep.
waiting for the fight to finish and for Warden's time to enter the Decagon.
The dodecahedron.
Linger and Chester, I nearly said Lester and Chinga. Linger and Chester, what are you guys doing over at Bar?
I'm coming up with fantasy wrestler names.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, should we go see how the fight is progressing? It looks like Warden's gonna get up in there and probably tear that person's arms off, ideally. Beat him to death with his own arms?
I'm sorry. I got distracted by this Warhammer thing that you posted.
It's great.
Say that again. I am so sorry.
Sorry, we're trying to summon Lawrence.
I fully admit that I got distracted.
Let's go watch the fight. It's the short version.
It could be interesting, I suppose. Why
You
not?
know what? I could.
little.
I was just thinking, this invisible mage hand that is basically constantly giving me a massage. I could use that.
Maybe I can use it for other things.
I can use it for other things. But you know what? I got to talk to Warden because he might want a fair fight. Yeah, let me go up to him first.
Do they
Well,
do
you can-
wagers here? Could we?
That's
You
what
can-
I'm thinking.
Definitely
Yes.
see people betting. Like, there's very clear money changing hands.
He's gonna sneak up to whisper in Warden's ear because maybe he wants a fair fight. It's fine. Warden, I understand you're gonna be fighting one of these individuals in this dodecahedron ring.
Yes.
That is cool. Do you wish any aid from the sidelines of a magical variety?
I do not believe I will require that.
Okay, if you do while you're fighting, use the signal. Scratch your head. Say, my head is very itchy. And then I'll I can maybe whip up a little something for you.
Very well.
It is very well. All right. Then he's going to try to find whoever's taking bets.
Okay. You can see, I mean, there's a lot of money changing hands between people to people, but there are a lot of people kind of coming back and forth from another small table off to one side with what seems to be another goblin sat behind it. Presumably you head over.
Yeah, hello, my little goblin friends.
Hello.
I'm technically a goblinoid. Did you know that?
I did, to be fair. I did.
Pretty cool. We're like
We get a
brothers
few of
from
them down
another-
here.
Brothers from another mothers.
Certainly a
might
much
say.
fluffier mother.
Yeah. Should see her. Her name is Sally, by the way.
Sorry?
All right. I'd like to place a wager on the upcoming bouts with my good friend Warden here. Taking the win.
Okay. Odds against him currently just looks like whatever you bet, you'll get your bet back and then the same.
All right. Well, I would like to bet, and he raises his voice, 100 gold.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of
I
turned
too-
heads.
I too will bet 100 gold that
That's-
Warden will win.
200 gold.
Yes.
A lot of confidence. Booker respects that. Okay. And he writes a couple of little betting slips for you, tears the pages off, holds them out.
Thank you, sir.
If Warden wins, you bring him back, you hand them in, you get your money. Keep an eye on them, because, you know, I mean, basically if you own the paper, you get the reward, so they go missing. A lot.
Oh, well, I should put it in a safe place.
We warn everyone and still people get pickpocketed all the time.
Chester pats his coin purse, which he's probably, knowing him, been doing this whole time.
Give it to Rip, and Rip rolls it up and puts it in his mouth underneath his mask. We assume it's his mouth. We just see it disappear underneath the mask.
Yeah,
We don't know.
the mask lifts up and there's a brief moment you just see a glimpse of the swirling void that the piece of paper disappears into.
Yep.
The mask closes.
We really need to make stats for him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need stats? If it's statted, it can be killed. Rip is eternal.
Truly, truly.
Okay. So, the brief waiting period finishes. And after the ring is cleaned up after the second fight, there is, murmur amongst the crowd, or who's up next, who's going in. And you see the announcer step up to his loudener again, and you hear, "Two men enter. One leaves the Decagon." And the crowd are cheering, shouting, yeah, rattling the sides of the cage. "Step away from the cage. And enter Mura and the Machine." There's murmurs, cheers.
Cheering.
Shame I didn't make a wrestler character. This would be great.
Right?
My name is Raccoon. It rhymes with doom.
Hell yeah.
Here to challenge the current reigning champion. The cheer goes up again as he enters. You see he's currently wearing like a long overcoat, so you can just see like the one pair of hands, or one pair of arms rather, and he kind of steps into the cage. The portcullis is lowered behind him. He shrugs the long coat off, and the arms start to unfold from his back menacingly, hoping it's the first time you've seen this and you had no idea he had 2 extra mechanical arms for the intimidation factor. I'm just going to double check I have actually turned my reverb off and I'm not talking with reverb this whole time.
You're not.
Cool.
You're not.
No, I know. It's just because everything's been playing up recently.
You did, it's fine.
A little bit.
And as the crowd begins to settle down a little bit, you all hear, "Fight!"
Right.
And Warden, I would like you to please roll initiative.
It's going to be a 13.
Lucky 13.
As-
Here we go.
Warden throws his cloak away.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Was that 13 total?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to make a note of this rather than remove everyone from the initiative tracker and use that. Okay. Excellent. As Warden throws the cloak to the side, there's a cheer from the crowd. Is this the first time Warden's fully taken the whole cloak off?
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Does he look any different underneath? Anything that would be new to the others spectating?
Besides, like, his kind of newer armor, not really.
Fair enough.
His newer outer shell. But, I mean, yeah, no, you guys can get a full look at...
You do now see his tramp stamp. Of course.
Yeah, his armor has, like, that Nike swoosh. Like a Knight's Tale.
Oh my gosh.
Not
Nice,
sponsored.
nice.
The new Warden, sponsored by Nike.
Just do it.
Warden's Steel.
And with that, let me switch to some fight music. Because who doesn't want a little bit of fight music? Unfortunately, I didn't quite get the Decagon finished in time to get it properly exported. But as Warden throws the cloak to the side, the reigning champion sprints towards you. He did roll higher in initiative. He is going first. He comes running in towards you and just kind of swings with human fist and mechanical fist at the same time. And that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Does not.
Does Warden let it just kind of like hit and do nothing, or are you actively like blocking,
Let's see.
dodging?
Does my combat superiority work with unarmed fighting?
That's a very good question that has not come up in my games because no one ever picks your subclass in my games.
That's their fault.
Yeah, it's great. It's so
Oh,
underrated.
Let
It
me see. Where are the
probably
rules for
says if it
this?
specifies like
I'm sure if it
weapon
says, like,
attack,
weapon attack, yeah,
then usually
that would
it
be-
doesn't apply to unarmed. I think because unarmed doesn't count as a weapon, right?
Also, we haven't rested since last combat, right?
No, we haven't.
No,
Okay.
you have not.
Thought not. Yeah. Let me see.
Why is it not showing your stuff?
Where is it? Yeah. See my superiority and whatnot, but not my.
I'll just do a quick search. 5e.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
combat
keep looking for
superiority, isn't it?
it. Yes.
Bum, 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 bum. Fighter Battle Master. 5e tools. What a sight. You learn maneuvers that are fueled by special dice. You learn 3 maneuvers of your choice. Many enhance an attack in some way. You can only use 1 maneuver per attack. So that just says per attack. Maybe some of them specify. So it might be down to the specific maneuver.
Yeah. Let's see.
Battle
So
Master
melee attack.
maneuvers.
So with a melee
Yeah,
attack,
so it's down to the specific one, and melee attack can be an unarmed strike.
Okay. So let's see. Let me look through this page. Starving attack. Yeah, my only one that says weapon attack would be starving attack. So
Right.
sadly, I won't be ripping any arms off this fight.
Never say never.
Right.
The only one that could be used right now, surely, is the riposte, no?
And parry, because it says
Oh, and
melee
parry.
attack.
But he's missed regardless, so...
Yeah, so I'll just go
Um,
and use riposte.
Okay.
If that's fine with you.
You can... Oh yeah, when it misses you with a melee attack. Sorry, I thought that said when it hits. You can use a reaction expend... Make a melee weapon attack.
Oh, does it?
For
Say
riposte.
melee weapon.
Yes.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
okay. Yeah, melee weapon. Yep, I see that.
But at the same time, I'll allow it for this. Why not?
Aw. Thanks, man.
For this fight, you can have it because it makes it more fun. You're just like counter-striking him. An 18 will hit.
Not sponsored.
Yes. But do feel free to.
Or-
Why not?
Yeah, Counter Strike 2 is coming out. And I'll add my superiority die to the attacks as well. So that's going to be 9 damage.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. Excellent. So you all watch as they come charging forwards, swing out with the 2 fists, and you watch as Warden just slaps them to the side and counters with a thundering punch to his chest. He staggers back. All right. And he is going to run forward and swing again. With a natural 1.
Oh, man.
Let's feel
And, like-
sorry for this.
You can see, whilst obviously he's seen kind of the armor and that it hasn't been removed before coming in, clearly assuming that you're likely to be some sort of warforged. He was expecting, you know, mechanical parts and armored blows to hit him. He wasn't quite expecting the full force of what he took with just like a parry, basic, or a counter rather than a parry. And he's just off balance completely from that strike to his chest. He's struggling to catch his breath a little bit, and the swing comes at you, and you just kind of stand there and let it connect as the fist just kind of slaps against the side of your face, kind of
Oh, no,
uselessly.
I
There's
didn't-
not...
I do a
Yeah.
Dragon Ball thing where I just turn back like nothing.
Yeah, like,
No,
there's
no.
not enough power behind this because he just couldn't catch his breath and was trying to catch you off guard. And you got to wake up earlier than that to catch Warden off guard because it's now Warden's turn.
Just before he does that, you're going to hear from the crowd, Warden, Warden, you can do it. If you
Warden.
can't do it, nobody can. And I believe you are the right person for the job. And you can have a bardic inspiration, just in case.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Warden has alert. You can never catch him off guard.
Exactly.
I'm going to go for a punch.
17 hits.
Another max 4.
Nice.
You're gonna have some money.
All right. And I guess another hit. 'cause I
Yeah.
I have 2 attacks. It's only an 8.
That one misses. So, as the first strike, as he's kind of left himself wide open from this punch connecting with you and doing nothing, you swing in and just kind of slam into the side of him. And you're like, this guy's still wide open, I can come in with another punch. And as you swing, one of the mechanical arms just kind of bends round backwards and just manages to get itself in the way of your punch. Does that end your turn?
Yes, that'll be it.
Okie dokie. In that case, he swings at you again and misses. So again, just like trying to find weak spots in your armor very clearly. Like he's throwing these punches, but they clearly don't have like the full force behind them. He's just trying to kind of feel you out a little bit, and it just thunders straight into one of your more reinforced areas. And again, you just kind of like look down at him as the punch hits, and he's like, you can see in his eyes, like, okay, not there, next try. As he swings again, this time kind of swinging in, kind of like one mechanical fist from each side, trying to kind of like slam in on each side of your face with with an 18 to hit.
Ooh, 18. That just misses.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Excellent. So you all hear the sound of metal on metal ringing out as he slams into the sides of Warden's helmet. Warden's steadfast.
Oh, man. And I'm going to repose the last one.
Okay. As watching both of these get absorbed like it was nothing, the crowd are starting to join in with Chester on the Warden, Warden, Warden. Go ahead with your riposte.
It's going to be a 19.
Hits.
Another max 4 damage. Wow. And with only 1 more, so 5 damage. So I'm just going to say that's just a headbutt.
Excellent. So it's 5 more points of damage. Yes? Yes. Because I kept looking at the 19 and being like, no, it's 19. Cool. So you riposte, you slam him in the face with your head. And you watch as he kind of reels back, the nose is bent at an awkward angle, blood starting to dribble out from it. I was about to say, does that end your turn? But something in the back of my head was like, no, because that wasn't even his turn.
You fool.
He is going to action surge and swing at you again. And miss again. And miss again. You could see he's just completely disoriented by what is very likely a reasonably broken nose from the looks of it, from your head slamming into his face. It is now your turn, unless you would also like to riposte one of those two and just beat him when it's not even... Oh no, you've used your reaction, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're just going to kill him when it's not even your turn? Jeez, dude.
Oh boy, here I go again. Oh boy.
Yeah, 23 will hit.
23. Wow. Keep rolling max force.
This is great. Well, it's because unarmed strike is just 1 plus your strength.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be 4 each time, unless you're a monk and you can roll like a d6.
Oh, so it's not a die. Oh, okay. I see. Never
Yeah.
mind.
So unarmed strikes just do 1 plus strength mod.
I thought you were rolling so good there.
Yeah. Just straight 4s. The luck, I mean... Cool. Yes, that is your 2 attack. Is that your 2 attacks? No, that was the first
That was
attack.
just one.
Second attack. Yes. This heat is not doing good things to my brain.
22.
22 hits.
Gosh, Warden.
Wow, you rolled another 4.
I'm insane, right?
Cool. You doing anything else? Or are you just slugging into this guy? Just go into town, taking him to Pound Town.
Right. Yeah, as he's just getting his combo in, he's just going to like try to ask like, what your arms, where did you get them?
Okay.
That's
Okay.
clever, man.
Does that end your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
He swings in. It's timed perfectly with your question as well. He swings in at you with one of the mechanical arms, and you just reach out and catch the wrist and say, "Your arms, where did you get them?" And he looks at you a little taken aback and confused, and he... More Dothak. Wrenches the arm back, swings with another punch coming in towards your stomach. With a 19 to hit.
Yep, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
And he does a grand total of 5 bludgeoning damage. Because he gets to roll a die when he attacks with his mechanical arms because of how they work.
Wait. I'd say 35, but I must have subtracted?
I think you
Right,
just added.
Subtract. Weird. Let me fix that. Let me 10.
That's
then.
all good.
There we go. Weird. Yeah, and just punch the guy. He's like, ugh, could you please spell that name out?
Did you say spell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
could you spell that name out, Mitch?
yeah, so it's 2 words, more Dothak. It's M-O-R, and that's
M-O-R.
M for Mitch. And then
That was my
Dothak
notes.
is D-O, sorry, T-H-A-K.
M-O-R-T what?
D-O-T-H-A-K.
D-O-T-H...
A-K.
A-K, okay. More about okay.
And you would know, because common knowledge across the world. Mordothak is the name of a dwarven fortress and the home of Arcana Mechanics on the Halidor Isles, up in the northwest of most maps. But also northwest of the Sleeping Gardens. It is part of the continent of Azith, but it's like its own separate island. It's basically just a big floating chunk of ice. But it is your turn.
Right. Yeah, let's keep rolling with the blows.
Mhm.
Only 13.
Oh, you got a D8 to add to that if you want.
Yeah, might as well. It's going to be a 16 total.
16. So you swing in, and he catches it with his 2 flesh hands. The issue with those is he's been in a fight just before, and they're still a little bit sweaty, and there's a moment where he's holding the fist in place, and then you just slip through and connect with his face. Roll damage. You literally just got him.
Nice.
I say roll damage. It's 4.
All right.
Fortunately, that's great for me, because when it comes to tracking damage, I like to add. And if you're doing 1 attack at a time, and it's 4 damage each time, I'm just counting up through the 4 times table. Oh, we've reached our first sub goal that was set
Hey.
Hey!
ages ago. Hell yeah. That warrants breaking immersion for a brief second. And it looks like it might have been Max with the resub.
Hey.
17 months I saw. Very
Let's go.
impressive.
But yes, back into it. I do believe you have your second attack.
Yes.
As Chester's inspiring voice encouraged you to push through the grip. 19 will hit. And another 4 damage. He is not looking good. At all. As you kind of swing through again, this time he kind of staggers back about 5 feet, drops down onto one knee, a cheer goes up from the crowd. Everyone at this point, Warden! 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 There is a brief pause as you hear ringing across the crowd. Reigning champion, do you yield? Everyone goes silent, and you watch as he staggers back up to his feet, raises his fists again in the crowd. Yeah! And you hear,
Yeah, we're
he will continue to fight!
as soon as Ward hears that boo, he raises his head like no.
Does
He's
that
got
end your
the
turn?
dog in him. Yes, that'll be it from Warden.
Okay.
Also, I can't say boo in an accent, so that was just a normal boo.
Yes. Very Canadian boo.
Boo, boo, boo.
Ah, say
boo.
boo. I feel like we all boo with the same accent. There's very few ways you can say it.
It's like how like English people, whenever they sing, like their English accent disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He comes running back in towards you and swings at you with one of the mechanical fists. Can you make me a very quick perception check, please?
Mm. Perception. 19.
As the fist comes swinging in towards you, you notice out the corner of your eye, there certainly wasn't before, like they were solid. It seems like there is holes where the knuckles are on this mechanical fist, and as the fist comes closer, you see on each knuckle a very small spike starting to protrude as this fist slams into the side of your face. For 9 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Boy. When,
And you guys can see... in fact, actually, can you all give me perception checks? Except Warden, because Warden can't see his own face.
Now we get serious. Let's go.
7.
14.
14.
There we go.
Mura and
Seven.
Linga.
Hold on. Oh, we
Oh.
got one more.
Oh,
Got it.
Rip!
Mhm.
Baby!
oh yeah.
Hmm.
Nice. Mura, Linga, and Rip. As you're all watching, you can see there are a few small holes almost in the side of Warden's helmet. It looks like it could have just been like a really strong impact mark from this metal fist slamming into the side of it and possibly breaking part of the helmet. And you can see this very, very dark, almost blackish blood or fluid starting to come out from the side of Warden's helmet. Whatever Warden runs on seems to be oozing out. It's Dr. Pepper.
Oh my gosh.
That's where it all is. Jeez.
I am from the Midwest.
The shortage around here is real.
Not sponsored, but please do. I fucking love Dr. Pepper.
You have to get me to a Bucky's. I need more Dr.
Buc-ee's.
Pepper.
You know what? Diet Dr. Pepper is the best diet. Tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
I can't
And
have
Dr. Pepper Zero
Pepper.
as well.
Dr. Pepper has blackberry extract in it. Ask me how I know.
In fact, actually, linger with your 17.
Yes.
You can see something very pale in the small hole that is in Warden's helmet. Kind of like underneath the helmet. But
Cool.
he swings.
What about the fisty thing that he just got hit with? Does she see any spiky things with that 17?
Yes, as the fist is kind of like coming back, you see very small spikes retract back into the knuckle. And he swings again at Warden, who clearly...
Chester, I believe that other person is cheating.
Ooh.
Clearly
Well,
was prepared for this guy now.
I saw spikes come out of his fist in his mechanical hand.
Oh, well, I do kind of have to wait for the sign to engage the cheating on our own side, though. Oh, you know what I'll do? He's going to message Warden. Warden, this guy's cheating, so if you would like to, for me to engage cheating protocols as well, you just give the scratchy head. You can reply to this message.
His cheating will not be enough to save him.
Ooh, brutal.
Yeah.
The best part is you reply to message out loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
So your
Still
combatant hears this potentially,
Ooh,
if you're
it's a
saying it
more-
loud enough for him to hear.
It's like in a mumble. I'm sure like he might hear it.
It's more for like, is Warden knowing this, trying to intimidate him with it? Like, I know what you're up to kind of thing. Like, just loud enough. Cool. He swings at you again with the second mechanical fist. And this time, knowing what's happening, you can hear now as, like, you're more alert for it. You hear the ticking and whirring of the gears as the fist comes in close. And it's going to miss.
All right, time to repost that.
As Warden's arm comes up to block.
All right, and strike. Oof, only 13.
13's also gonna miss, as they're now just like trading punches and blocking. But that will end his turn. Warden, you're up.
Swing bad about it.
Warden's like, oh, we're cheating now? Okay, Mura, hand me my greatsword. But it's a
nat
natural 20, so obviously there's no
Wow.
dice to double and add, so it's just 8 damage.
All right. So just roll damage twice. Let's put damage down twice
Yeah.
just for.
So, Warden, would you like to describe your victory?
Right. So with that, his last strike, I think Warden I think this was from DDZ, but basically he caught it between his knee and his elbow, right? He caught like the punch coming at him, and with that, he's going to jab with his left hand into his face before taking the arm that he has locked and throwing him over his shoulder, and then just beating down, like punching down at him and right into his face. Probably like one last knockout blow as he's down on the ground.
Brutal. I love it. And as the final punch thunders into him, You all hear, miscreants and killers, we have a winner. As the crowd go wild, they're screaming Warden, they're screaming Mura and the Machine as the name you were announced in with.
Oh man. Warren
And
just
you
spits
hear-
out a little bit that Warren just spits out through his visor just a little bit that black ichor as he walks away.
You hear the sound of the portcullis being raised, and you watch as kind of like 4 white-robed individuals come running into the ring, pick him up, and carry him away,
Oh wow.
unconscious, taking him to the side for emergency healing because his face is not okay. I would assume, after trying to cheat Warden.
Yeah. Warren knew he'd be fine, so
Yeah.
he let loose a little bit.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, Warren just throws his cloak back on and throws the hood over as well.
The anime angle as he throws the cloak on, that like
Slight
diagonal.
slow motion as well.
Yeah. You catch him on the back foot. There's the brief freeze frame, and he continues out of the ring. People are clapping you on the back, on the shoulders. Yeah, good fight, good fight. And you head over to the table that you'd signed up at, and he, okay, good fight. I'm impressed.
You said you'd be willing to disclose information in exchange for a win.
Ask.
The recent automaton attacks. What do you know?
He, scratches his head. Well, I don't really know nothing myself. I deal less in information and more in money. But I also deal in people. So, take yourself down to the forge and ask for Bantha. He's amethyst dragonborn, you can't miss him, bright purple.
Banthos.
He knows some people. He could probably give you the information you want. If he can't, come back to me. I'll give you another person to talk to. And if you want to fight again, the Decagon would be happy to have you.
Hell yeah.
Good day. And Warren will turn around and head over to his friends.
As his friends are given their betting winnings, and you all rejoin, and Warden's theme blares in the background. We are going to end there for this session.
Good job, Warden.
So what? We getting 200 back?
Yes.
Man, why didn't it make his theme song Tank from Cowboy Bebop?
Right? It's because it's
I've
copyrighted.
been watching Cowboy Bebop for the first time at the moment,
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm loving it.
Oh man, it's great. You gotta do Demon Slayer next.
I've been using the fight music and like pub music that they have in Cowboy Bebop for my Spelljammer game.
Very appropriate.
They're loving it. We also end every session with See You Space Cowboy and then the best part of Freebird as their Spelljammer flies off into the distance because it's like an episodic each session is a different adventure. So we always
Amazing.
end with the Spelljammer flying away to Freebird.
Right. By the good part, you mean like the 5-minute build up to like the 9-minute solo at the end, right?
Yeah, so it's the fly high free bird and then the beginning of the solo and then it fades out as we're all like, okay, good night, let's go to sleep because it's midnight.
Yeah, as someone who grew up in Georgia and Tennessee, I'm gonna just go ahead and say there is no good part to Freebird.
Every part of
hot
Freebird
take,
is good.
hot take.
Hot-
Everyone
you
stand
once
back.
you hear it so much, you're just like
You hate it. You grow to hate it.
Yeah, it's like how some people feel about Wonderwall.
It's how everyone
Right.
feels about Wonderwall, Steph.
Would you hear it like every day of your life for whatever reason growing
The
up?
original
Everywhere
The
you go, it's the
original-
theme song.
Yeah, you're like,
Freebird is the original. Anyway, here's Wonderwall
it
meme.
really, really is.
Troops in Vietnam sitting in the helicopter like, goddamn, hate Fortunate Son so goddamn much.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well, with that, thank you all for watching, joining us in chat, and we reached our sub goal, so we'll have to set a whole new sub goal. Hope you guys all enjoyed the session.
No.
Absolutely.
Well, I was
hated
talking
it
to the
first.
fans, Lindsay, not you. We know you hate playing this game, but they
So
like
much.
watching it.
The worst.
You just hate everyone here. You're just here because you don't actually
playing.
have anything better to do with your time, and you don't
I really
do
don't.
anything else with your time otherwise. You have so much free time on your hands that you figured, why not?
Yeah.
That
I
was
just
all a
hate
joke, of
myself,
course.
so I play
Lindsay has
D&D
no free
to hurt
time.
myself.
I hurt myself. Samesies.
Much like most people who end up playing D&D. They're doing so much that they use D&D to escape from it all. And with that introspective thought,
We love you all.
we do. And we will see you all next time. Goodbye.
Yeah.
See you, Space Cowboy.
Ow.
Oh my God.